on that one when?
Just when I give you a thumbs up.
When's all quiet?
I'm not worried about that. I think it's kind of stupid. When they mix it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They say, oh, just a pain in the ass not to do it with 30 seconds all quiet. So just let me know, and that's the one you click.
Yeah, just give me.
I'm gonna give you a thumbs up, but don't. Yeah, that's the mouse in the drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, and click our mics on.
Right now.
Yes. Okay, guys, go ahead and be quiet a second.
This way.
All right, we're live on the Zig Zone. It is one of those Mondays again. Man, I've had a really weird 3 days, man. It's been... Oh, and I don't have my cool fucking shades on, man. Somehow they disappeared. They're not here. So I'm only half as cool as I normally be, which is actually not all that cool, but, you know, I'm just saying, whoever has my fucking shades, bring them back, motherfucker. But it's been like a really gnarly 3 days, and I'll get you that really shortly. But first off, we got the boys from INDIVISION in the house. How's it going, guys?
Yep.
You can go ahead and grab one of those shots and pass them on down.
Oh, boy. All right. Just starting it off right, huh?
That's it. Oh, and you
don't have any organic limes?
And you get
organic limes, yeah.
And you
did you have some Himalayan sea salt for me as well?
Too.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how to much to film.
I got a little iceberg in mine.
We need someone who was watching online to like do a count. Someone keep telling how many shots were taken.
Okay. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as all the booze is gone,
just tie that up. Yeah.
We can always count it in post.
You didn't put that. Where's the bottle at that?
Oh, I put them down here.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Don't be like Lena and take our booze away.
Oh, Jesus.
Love you, Lena. Anyways, guys, cheers.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, buddy. Haven't heard that phrase in a while.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All righty. God, I love tequila. So really weird fucking 3 days, and I mean I'm telling you, it's almost like what I've done in a whole lifetime. Saturday, starting with Saturday, I went to a funeral to give my last respects to a brother of mine. Then that night, I celebrate my oldest son's 21st birthday.
That's wild.
You know,
drinking, huh?
Well, it's unfortunately he's on medication, so he can't drink.
Oh man!
But me and his Nina are taking him to Vegas at the end of March.
Oh fuck yeah!
So
First time in Vegas?
First time in Vegas, and that'll be his first time at a titty bar. That is the what is the quintessential rite of passage. If I put it so lightly, right? You got to go to a nudie bar, dude. I'm just saying. I did when I turned 21. I took his godfather to one when he turned 21.
You can go to someone, they're 18.
I know, but it's not the same. I'm just saying.
Know.
But see, he hasn't gone to one, period.
Well, my boy just turned 18 on last week, on the 16th.
So you took him to a titty bar?
No, not yet.
You just can't drink alcohol, right?
No.
Well, see, that was, I think, my son's Nino said, that's what he said. He goes, you know what? I think, because I thought about that, because you can go to an all-nude one, one there's no booze, right?
Yeah.
But as he was like, it'd be better if we have a few drinks with him. You know what I mean? And just, you can't, not at a full nude, but at least get a few drinks and, you know what I mean? And then Sunday, spent the evening with you guys
Yeah.
which just kind of, it was kind of like a room in Saturday morning, and then like a back up, and then man, you to watch you guys fucking kick ass at Mr. Tobacco Lounge. Very
fucking
fucking
awesome. Had a good
impressive.
time.
Just annihilated the fucking stage. And like I said, on my post, I don't have you guys on my Facebook page. I did have Dana. Says, yeah, INDIVISION, and they're gonna kick you in the balls once, and then they're gonna do it twice. And then today I did a workshop, which is an advanced personal professional training for the motorcycle training, that I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
So it started was climbing up because I've been in this real funk since because my buddy was murdered on the 22nd of December.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it was just even the holidays. It was just just a fucking nosedive into the goddamn
The whole
concrete.
getting deeper kind of thing.
And then trying to get out of it was just, it's like trying to climb out of a fucking hole that the walls are covered with grease. You know what I mean? It just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But from the funeral, then just knowing that everyone's got to move on.
Right.
And he's always going to be there. And then and so my son's birthday, it just kept on going up from there.
Yeah. That's
So,
interesting.
anyways, my weekend. But so first off, let's go ahead and we're gonna go. I already obviously Danny. I'm gonna tell you. I tell this story, right? I tell this story. Every
Another
time
fucking
Danny
Danny
comes
story.
on the air. Well, the first time I met Danny. Okay, because this is basically for now you guys are new fans. Okay, so first time I met Danny, he was playing for 7 days away. And I went and seen them at 21, 60, 150. What?
Oh, in Corona, right?
Yes,
61, yeah.
The one by the strip club.
yes, right next door,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so I'm looking for Art Diehards, right? So I go to look at this fucking guy. Find these
I
sites
remember the
up.
story now.
So I'm like going, and I'm there on stage. Me and VJJ are there, right? And so I wanted to talk to them about getting them on the air because a show prior to that, my band Knuckles Deep played, and I got a chance to meet him. And when Art was introduced to
Art's
me,
a guitar player of 7 days away.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so Art handed me a CD. So when I had a chance to listen to it, and I'm like, oh, these guys fucking kick ass. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch them play at 60, fucking 50, whatever. Okay.
Angels.
Right. There you go.
Angels.
So I can't find Art. So I walk up to Danny, and Danny's fucked up.
No surprise there.
I was breathing.
You joined the band's fucked up.
So I walk up to Danny and I say, hey, 'cause, I just got done watching the band. I don't know who the fuck he is, right? And so I walk up to Danny and I says, hey, I'm looking for Art, and he's all, who the fuck wants to know? And I'm looking at this guy and he's like, Ben, I'm like, oh fuck, really, dude? It doesn't
Pretty sure I
fucking
said it nicer than that.
No, you did not. No, you fucking did not. And I'm like going, wow, this guy's going to kick my ass. All I'm trying to do is get him on my fucking show, But, go figure that Danny is, I don't know if you realize this, but there's only one of the artists has been on more times than Danny has, and that's my little cousins in Dianthus. This is your fourth time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4 times.
So you're the second most celebrated person at Kaotic. So, but
Danny attack everybody. Danny attack.
but go figure, going from a person that's like it's kind of like in high school. I had one of my best friends. I got in a fight with him before I even met him. We got in a fight, and next year we become best friends. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy how that
now
progresses.
it's like me and Danny just had this friction at first, but now he's like my boy.
Yeah, well, one of the things too was you were trying to get a hold of Art to get us on the show, and you just couldn't do it. Like, pushing it off or whatever the problem was. And after we talked about who each other were, I was like, okay, what do you want to do? Get us on the show. I was like, okay, cool, let's make it happen. He's like, well, you got to talk to anybody. I was like, no, let's make it happen. What day you want us on there? Okay, it's done. We'll be there.
Absolutely correct. Because I never got a chance to talk to Art. I don't know when he just disappeared, but I ended up, getting it squared away with Danny. So that's my Danny's love story.
We met Danny through
Make things
Craigslist.
happen.
Yeah.
Personals.
So okay,
Misconnections. Big black beaner. This guy.
is there a beaner that plays guitar?
Saw him. He had tattoos.
Somewhere.
A kind eye.
With the heart of gold.
I die.
A thug with the heart of gold.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we know Danny, and
I am Cody. I'm the guitarist, the other guitarist. Yeah.
Okay, so we got Cody
And I'm Devin. I'm the vocalist.
okay,
Yeah.
and obviously the drummer's not here.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling well, so he had to stay home. So it was like
He's actually gotten sick twice on this tour.
Yeah, he's the one who's gotten fucked like over and
three
over
times. This
again.
would be three.
This will be the third
this-
time.
yeah.
This is the third time he's been sick. So maybe he needs like some better medical attention. I don't know.
Either that or better booze.
Or yeah, I was gonna say like tequila, probably kill all that
Yeah,
shit.
he'd be fine after some tequila.
Well, it's a bummer because it's always the drummer, and because you got 3 drummers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I'll
And it's
tell
always
you.
the drummer that doesn't show up. Everybody else shows up.
He's like,
I'm
you'll
always
be
there.
fine without me. Fuck it.
He said, just answer for me, but answer like in questions. So like when you ask us a question, we ask you a question
right
back.
That's funny. So those of you that are listening, with Danny, Cody, and Devin, if you guys go on to, obviously those of you on Facebook right now, Facebook Live, you can also go on to YouTube, just punch in Chaotic Radio, it'll pull right up, and just click on, it says live. You just click on right there, boom, and there is a comment
Technology.
section. There's a comment section right over to the right. It says say something. All you have to do is say whatever you like, and for the guys, and they would be glad to answer any questions you have for the band.
Fuck yeah.
So my first one, now it's usually when the name, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now, like Nickelback, I know.
the same.
I know. Before
Same
you
thing.
say anything,
Yeah,
okay?
same thing. I think
The question is the same.
So there's reasons how you come up with a name, like Nickelback. You know, 'cause anytime he was going to this coffee shop, he always the coffee was 95 cents. He got a Nickelback, and that's how he came up with the name. So
Yeah.
how did INDIVISION? It's a very strange name to this coffee shop.
Yeah.
He always is the coffee. Oh, did I?
Yeah, we're getting some.
Okay. That's Vijay's fault.
Fucking
See, the guy
Vijay.
fucking comes inside for a night and he starts fucking
Thanks,
everything
Vijay.
up.
The name was actually me and Adam had a music thing we were doing in Oregon when we lived there. We lived in Portland for a while. It's a long time ago, and the name INDIVISION. We lived on Division Street and was really into like in Under Oath, and they had a song called In Division as 2 separate words. It's unrelated to that. It was just I was like, what if we just put the words together? Is that actually a word? And In Division it just means like undivided unity. And that's kind of just where the name came from, was just, hey, we're on Division, we like this song, let's just put these names together and create a pseudo word that does exist. And that's
Yeah.
just where the name came from. And we just kind of like backburnered it for a long time.
Well, it's funny because like I didn't know the name of the band for the first 2 months of
oh,
being
yeah,
in
no
the
one
band
did. They were like,
until-
what are we called? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Division. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had no
Did you-
idea.
Did you actually have shows? I mean, or you were just,
No, no,
practicing at this point?
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, so, like, basically, I'll stick on topic, but, like, basically, me and Danny were found literally through Craigslist. Like,
Yeah.
I just saw metal vocalist needed and was like, I guess I'll just go for it. I don't know. This is the first band I've ever frontman for, especially, like, in a metal band. I've always played guitar. I'm a bass player by trade, I guess. But, so yeah, so like he dropped the name, and I was like, man, that's really interesting. Like, but Cody started talking to me about it, and it's kind of like become kind of like our mantra, because kind of one of our goals is like you just see so many of the music scenes around like the nation just kind of like dying off, and like people just not really being together, and
Being
it's all like kind of like
supportive,
dog eat dog world in the music industry, and it's just like, dude, we're all in it for the same reasons, you know? So like INDIVISION, like we want to bring the scene together. We want people to be together, enjoy music together. And that's kind of just become like our mantra.
Also,
in the band,
let's roll it back a second. When Devin first saw the ad, he was actually like, "These guys are gonna suck."
Oh yeah,
Let's
no,
see what their
yeah. So
music
it was like
sounds
a joke. Yeah, so it was like a joke, and actually, it's a really interesting story. So like, I play like folk and country music too. So like, me and Danny kind of get along in that sense of his like solo acoustic project.
Danny Attack, everybody.
Danny Attack.
Anytime someone says they got a clap.
But like my
on
sister
my
is
contract.
a singer in Nashville, so like I do some like songwriting and stuff for her. And I was actually looking up random folk instruments on Craigslist, and somehow came across this ad, and the ad had like a fucking picture of like chicken Alfredo at the top, and then like it said like metal vocalist needed, we'll send pre-pro, and I was like, they know what pre-production is. Maybe they're okay. I don't know. I just want to see how shitty the hardcore scene in Jacksonville is. So I was like, yeah, send me some of your stuff. And they sent me their music, and I was like, I can get down to this. All right.
Yeah,
So
we
I'm up for
sent.
this.
Yeah, we sent one song that had it was like a one track that was a minute long with like two 30-second samples that like faded into each other. So anybody out there who's looking for vocalists and stuff, that's how you do it. Just give them little pieces of the music.
Right, yeah, tease them just a little bit,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right.
And that's how that happened. And then it was like maybe a week later,
We found Danny.
we found Danny. They were, and
Well,
actually,
no, found me before that, but we didn't meet.
well, I didn't have the choice in Danny at all.
Yeah.
They were just like,
No
we
one ever
vibe
does.
with this guy already,
No one ever
so
does.
let's.
I'm the decision maker.
Well, I mean, didn't you? Was it a banjo you were playing? You did a video. You did, yeah, it was a banjo, and I had no idea. I've only seen him play this, and he's playing. I'm like going, "Wow, you fucking go, boy! Yeah, get on the
bro.
banjo." I don't know how to play guitar, but I'm saying one of the most fascinating guitars is a banjo.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, I
It's
just
insane.
love the sound, just all the picking involved,
Yep.
and
It's a
you know.
percussive instrument. You're a drummer. That's why you like
Right.
it. Same thing with
Exactly.
acoustic guitar. It's a percussive
I don't
instrument.
have much experience with a banjo.
Experiments.
Experiment with banjo. No experiment.
Ding, 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 ding.
Especially if you hit someone on the head with the banjo, that's really percussive at that point.
I mean, it's basically it's a snare drum with strings.
It is.
Basically,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. Yeah. So now, how did the obviously, you guys are in Florida also now? Am I correct?
We're all in Florida.
Oh,
now,
okay.
correct, yeah.
All right. So now, how did you find what, the drummer's name?
Adam.
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 Yeah.
So how did you find Adam?
So I have actually known Adam for a long time. We go back, we've played music together, we've worked on like creative for a long time, and I've known him for about 10 years. So at some point I was just kind of like, hey, like, what if we start writing some heavy music again? We just talked and was like, hey, let's start writing music. And that's where it just happened. He was just there from the beginning because we've always done music together. So that was, two of the members were already solidified. We had another member at the time that we were working with on some stuff we were in a previous band with, and that didn't work out. So that's when we sought out these guys. And we knew from the beginning we just wanted to have a 4-piece with 2 guitars, vocals, and drums. That's it. So we already had the 2 of the pieces already locked in.
Yeah, and actually, because JJ and I were talking last night, actually, before I say that, so Adam, obviously one of the questions that I have for you as a fellow drummer is, I mean, I love his percussion. It kind of reminds me, I can't think of the drummer from JJ, the drummer for Sons of Texas.
You're not on.
Oh, look it up. Yeah, you're not, Google it. You got the computer, Well, me and Vijay went and oh no, we didn't. Yeah, we did.
You did.
Were you with me and Chuck, Vijay?
Yeah.
We've seen Sons of Texas, so I just figured that you might know to save my life here. But it's very solid, and not only that, he's got the whole beard thing going
Yeah.
too.
Viking warlord.
It's like
Like a homeless Viking.
I mean, the only drummer that I could, off the top of my head, that had the whole beard thing going was what's his face from Fleetwood Mac, Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, you see a lot of drummers now.
Well, Chris Adler from Lamb of God has it.
Well, I'm just saying, that's newer. I'm just saying,
From back in the day,
Yeah,
yeah.
back in
Yeah.
the day, it was like, the drummers were all clean cut, and.
His probably just came from laziness. He
You
was like,
almost
"Yeah,
breathed
someone
that one
should."
in, huh? I caught that.
Hey, this beer is going down like water. I've been saving myself this whole tour because I'm just like, huh? No. I just I haven't really been drinking on this tour, so like now that we kind of have like a break, I'm just like,
We do
let's
have a little
go.
break. Yeah.
But Adam, I'm just really curious of some of the influences that you have. Like I said, I'm not trying to label Adam into a certain drummer. I'm just saying that reminding me of because just his solid chops.
Yeah.
And I love the double bass and the snare mixture.
Yeah.
It was just really solid.
I think I could definitely answer where his influence is from.
Slipknot.
Slipknot, yeah.
Yeah.
He listened to a lot of Slipknot and played that, and like Under Oath and The Chariot. I think those are some
Oh,
of the
the
things.
Chariot. I remember the Chariot.
Yeah, those are some of the things he
First
listened
time-
to a lot.
yeah, I saw those guys
He
at
played
some-
covers too, like back in the day to like learn.
Those guys are crazy live.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
they're just fucking wild. Their
They're just-
bassist Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, and the guitar player just crawls up on the fucking thing.
Yeah, and Josh Goggin just on his own, just wild motherfucker.
Yeah, they did great live.
Yeah.
So I'm just as we go through the conversations, I'm just gonna go look on my Facebook page and see. So Gilbert Delgado says, "When isn't Danny fucked up?"
What up, Gilbert?
So
Gilbert.
you guys can chime in anytime when it comes to any kind of comment, something like that. We've got quite a few people chiming in and listening. Got my buddy from South Dakota. Sean's from, right? So we got people from a long ways
Nice.
away.
What's
my buddy
up, South
Dave
Dakota?
What are
Wagner.
you guys doing?
Yeah. He's definitely not as warm as we are right now.
No, fuck
We're
that.
so glad to be in California right now with the weather.
Dude, we
We've been
almost
freezing.
died in Washington driving to Boise.
Oh my god, I was doing the overnight drive and I'm sitting there like clutching the fucking steering wheel, going like I'm driving up a mountain.
The trailer's like a sled, like behind
Yeah,
us.
someone's like, give it more gas, don't give it more gas, give it more gas, tap
I'm
the
like,
brake.
it's like a fucking rally car race. I'm like navigating for him while we're going through because I
It was
lived in
so
Maine for
stressful,
5
yeah.
years, so like I know like driving through the
It's
snow
fucking
all the time.
freezing, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like and he lived in Oregon, so he knows a little bit too. But I was just like,
driving
we're
through
the
New
we're
York,
like
yeah.
the most experienced snow drivers.
But there's one point like going down the mountain, every time it's like, all right, it's like a 6% incline. And I'm like, great. Half the way down, my traction lights are just on, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You just hope you're gonna survive. It's great.
All right, then you got Steve Peralta says, "Fuck you, Danny."
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Popular today. Stevie.
It's okay. Let's
Stevie's the drummer in Back Guitar Eulogy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stevie, the one that.
What up, Bay?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I know Stevie.
Bay.
Yeah,
What up, Bay?
great guy. Yeah, he got fucked up at the last time we were at the show.
Yeah.
It was a great show, I mean, not to take it off of you guys.
Oh, no.
Is Manifestation gonna be coming out? Again?
I don't know what the days line up when we're. No, actually, we're on the East Coast.
Yeah, we're on the East Coast.
Manifestation.
for that
Oh no,
tour.
West Coast,
Yeah,
huh?
not yet. So we already announced it. So in March they'll be out here. They fly in February 27th or something like that, and then for the next couple weeks after that, we're doing a whole East Coast tour with Manifestation.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah,
All right.
Nothing, not this way.
Well, share the stuff on my page,
yeah.
and on the Zig Zone too. My Zig Zone page, so you can share that stuff up there also.
Okay,
'cause
thank you.
Great band, and they
Yeah.
definitely kicked ass.
Yeah.
Really impressive band, and I already played my
Vinyl?
my vinyl. You
Yeah,
know,
vinyls? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck,
buddy.
I want a vinyl.
There's nothing like putting that needle on and the snap, crackle, pop before the music kicks in.
It just
It's
feels good.
just, God, as soon as I did that, it was like I just fell back in the wormhole back in time.
There's
You
just
know what I mean?
there's something about it. No matter what anyone says, there's something about playing vinyl, or when people do really weird things with vinyl, like Jack White's like super nerdy. Like you like drop it in a certain spot, you'll get a certain song for the last song than other people would. It's
I didn't
fucking
know that.
weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
Interesting.
I didn't know Jack.
Well, just
Yeah, they do that on, like, all the records.
well,
Yeah.
we were talking last time at the drum clinic. We were talking about 2-inch reel to reel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I love 2-inch. I mean, it's digital's quick and it's easy,
Right.
and and you don't. It's a lot easier to kind of tweak any flaws. It doesn't matter. I don't care who in the hell you are. When
Right.
you're recording, there's going to be flaws,
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's easier to tweak that stuff in. So it reduces the recording time, but still,
Yeah.
that warm.
Well, dude, didn't Foo Fighters do a whole album
Yep.
like that?
He's still. He's only done.
yeah.
He's only done 2-inch reel. Am I correct on that, Scott?
I can't. verify that.
I'm pretty sure I'm absolutely correct that that's
Yeah.
his studio in his own basement.
Yep.
And it's 2-inch reel to reel.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that's just cutting, like literally physically cutting the
Oh
tape.
fuck that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
No,
It's
do not ask
insane.
me to do that.
But they're, I mean,
I
obviously they're
refuse.
good enough musicians where they probably don't have to cut that much. But
Yeah.
that's still.
Right.
I love that sound.
Yeah. So, but obviously, you guys. Now, did you record your album? Because I know you have your house set up as a studio.
Yeah, no, actually, we all did it. We all have a shared studio now,
You do.
and so everything's there. And Cody did most of all that actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did all the recording and engineering on this record. Yeah.
Pro Tools.
I've been using Logic for this one. I
Okay.
come from a Cubase background, but when it came time for like licensing with reps and everything, what I ended up using was Logic for the actual full production. Logic Pro 10, whatever the most recent update is.
Yeah, because there's a few of them out now.
Yeah, Logic Pro X. Yeah.
So it's kind of like GoPro, or the first one's out, but then there's all kinds of spin-offs
Sony
off
Right.
of it.
cams.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they all work pretty much the same way. It just depends on how you want your workflow.
Or how much
They
money you
sound a
want to
little
Yeah.
different. Each one has
Well,
Right.
they are different,
to
but
them.
I mean,
but
you know,
not to
you
get too
could still-
nerdy.
We
But-
could definitely
yeah, we can get
nerdy.
really nerdy. But no, we used Logic to produce our record is what we used
Okay.
on a Mac, obviously.
And the video,
Obviously.
how'd you guys do Bloom?
Okay.
Well,
Very quick.
so again,
he's the director. We did all that in house as well.
so I did all of the shots of everybody else, and the shots of me were done by a mixture mostly
Me
of Devin
and Adam.
and I think Danny did a couple takes that were actually in there as well.
We cut those out though. We didn't.
Yeah, fuck Danny. Fuck you. But no, so we did our own music video in house too. So a big reason that it shows each member individually was so that I could film the majority of it. So all of the drone footage, all the B-roll, BTS, and all of the shots of the band were done by me, and then edited in house by myself as well.
And we actually finished. I don't know if you noticed. You watched the whole thing? Like,
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So like that little shot of me on top of that mountain is in Joshua Tree. We finished
Yeah.
it here.
Like,
Oh,
as
really?
before,
Throw it
yeah.
out
2 days
for
before we
tour.
released it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did all the. We finished doing all the shots, and then we did editing, or he did editing. Literally like
The
right
night
before
of.
we started.
And there was actually some of the rose shots were done in Brianna's apartment, like the last day before it came out.
Yeah, you should have saw
I'm
the-
sitting there
the
like
fucking
like
scientific
dripping
experiment we
roses
had,
and
like-
ink together to get this shit together. And they're like, "God damn it, Cody, you're always pushing
He's
it
got
down to
like
the last
a
minute."
table with a sheet over it, and like a backdrop and shit. It
With
was
some
like in
fucking
the
shit
living
we bought
room.
at a Dollar Tree. Yeah, it was great. And then the next morning it got done. The render failed. We re-rendered it, and then it was like, "Cool, it's done. Let's put it up." So it got done like 5 minutes before we posted it. It was finished. So.
You know, it's weird how, like, obviously, me and Scott a little bit on the older school side. When it came to do videos and stuff, and there was a production company
Right.
and blah blah blah. Same thing with music, I mean, there was everyone else was involved. You just had to be the band.
Right.
Yeah.
Now everything is pretty much independent now. But
Yeah.
the backside to it is that, bands really don't make money on their music anymore. They make
Right.
more like when you're playing live or on your merch.
Yep.
Your merch is important. yeah.
And
I think a lot of bands still use like production companies to do. A lot of bands still record in studios. A lot of bands who do their music videos, like I do a lot of video work for bands and stuff like that. So I think we just had the opportunity or fortunate enough to where I already have like a media agency where I have my own clients I work for that I was like, why are we going to pay somebody else if we can do it in house?
True.
And then we have the full control over it. Granted, it is incredibly stressful to work on your own stuff, but a lot
so
of bands
much more
still go,
gratifying.
yeah. I'd say most bands
more
still do
gratifying.
everything outsourced. It is the big main. part of that.
Really, you think so, huh?
I do, yeah.
Okay, because I know my little cousins do.
Especially like a
they're
music
just
video, yeah.
they're the band, but
Right.
they work with Matt Sorm in their recording, and they also work with Jinx from Black Veil Brides.
Yeah.
Their manager is the manager for Black Veil Brides, so they kind of got the cool bonus plan going,
yeah.
But bands like you guys are all funding all this shit yourself.
We are, yeah. We're fully self-funded. And I do think a lot of bands will do their own recordings. That's something a lot of bands can do. But maybe the content side is a little bit harder. But we are fully self-funded. There's no label or any kind of VC backing to us.
Yeah, and it also depends on. I mean, yeah, a lot of bands can do the shit themselves, but what's the end result? How's it look?
Right. Like,
how-
do you have the
Is it good
eye
enough?
for it
Yeah,
or not?
how does
Yeah.
it look? Does it
Is
look
it
like
commercial?
a pro video, like that someone can air anywhere, or does it look like it's, just shitty low res video that
Recorded on an
anyone did?
iPhone.
Yeah, like doing a home, like doing a home porn. You know what I mean?
Anyone can
Yeah,
do it.
honey, let me put my cell phone right here while I'm banging you. You know what I mean? Hey.
Grab the Osmo. Let's do it, baby.
1080p, bitch.
Yeah.
No, just
It was like we're shooting 4K, motherfucker.
Let me edit out my hairy ass and the pimple on it. Just get to the good stuff right there.
They have an app for that.
They say they got the app for everything, right?
Porn movie making.
I had a question. There, boom.
Boom.
Yeah,
Con.
right against
What'd you lose?
I hit a brick wall.
You always do.
I always do.
It's okay.
Had the question there. I was flowing just fucking good, man, and whack. Just
Wait, does that mean another shot of tequila?
Yeah, drink.
It does, and that means Scott will we'll take this next
Scott,
one.
everybody.
Right.
Let me see the tequila while you're
Hold up,
doing
Turbo.
that.
We
Yeah.
plug in some sponsors.
we gonna do the hornitos?
Whatever.
Either let me see. Yeah, let me see that one. Yeah.
This one is melted a little bit. That one's there's not much of that left.
We can do the
That's right.
Hornitos.
No, there's
Yeah.
plenty inside here. But JJ, look at me. You see what I'm saying? I'm sitting here trying to twist the fucking
He's
top
coming in here
off.
like-
It's a goddamn court, man.
Coming in here like a drug addict.
Jeez.
What? What you got there, buddy?
What's that, brother?
Okay, you're up. I'm still on the brick wall. But hand me your shot glasses.
Yeah, no, but he was talking about like recording yourself. I mean, I've done that myself too, and it is very stressful. I recorded on like a few ADAT recorders.
Oh shit!
In my garage, I made a studio, and it actually turned out really good. I sent the CD after we mastered it at a studio. We sent it to KLOS when they were doing the local licks and all that.
Yeah.
A week later, Kelly Cox calls me and tells me, "Oh, you're going to be on tonight. We got 4 songs, and tell me all your names, about the band, and your shows."
Okay.
So it was like, shit. So you can't do it.
Cox.
Cox. Devin's favorite word.
I know it doesn't seem like too much, but these glasses are like super full.
They're-
They're
Yeah.
like, these are fat glasses.
They are, and trust me, dude. Who was it? He did. He poured a fucking full one, dude. We're
like, that's like 2 or 3 ounces.
I
yeah.
downed that motherfucker, dude, and my eyes. I mean, I'm Mexican, dude. I love tequila. I didn't like tequila for like about 15 minutes. You know, only 15 minutes.
Hey, owls are a symbol of knowledge.
There you go.
There you go.
And this is the knowledge
Drink
being
it.
sucked away from
Drink
us.
in the knowledge. Thank you, sir.
Unless it's full of tequila. Fucking make it cross-eyed for like about 5 fucking minutes, you know. All right, guys. Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Again.
All right.
Cheers.
Oh, I found my question. You guys are not done with the tour. You still have a couple dates left.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and where are they?
San Antonio and Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Okay, so just working your way back home. One stop, 2 stop, boom, you're
Making our way
home.
downtown. Yep.
Close it off at home and unpack. Be like, you know.
Yeah. Well, that show's about 3 hours or so
From
us.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, so we'll still play it and then drive home that night,
Yeah,
probably.
After the show's done, we'll pack up and then we'll be back early Sunday morning. Like,
And you've been on the road how long now?
we left Jacksonville the 4th, January 4th.
Was it?
Oh,
No,
shit,
It was
you-
the 5th.
Oh, 5th.
It was the 5th.
Wow,
Yeah,
you
fifth,
guys
fifth.
have been moving.
Dude, yeah.
Moving.
It's been pretty
Almost-
nonstop the
It'll
whole
be
time.
almost a month by the time we get back.
Well, no wonder fucking Adam's sick, man. He's the one. He's the one.
sick the first day.
No, listen, we weren't planning on stopping the first until San Antonio. Wait,
Until San Antonio was supposed to be the first
And
stop.
so, like, we're like, okay, we're driving to Louisiana. Things are great. Well, not great. Immediately, just bathroom every 30 minutes.
He had like
There's
food
that.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's
Yeah,
not
you guys
good.
need to take that. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. You guys didn't stop, and he didn't have a lingua burrito, did he?
No.
Because see, I had food poisoning, dude.
Well, that's why. You eating that fucking cow tongue?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
fucker.
I was fucked up. I ended up in urgent care.
No,
Really?
Literally, dude. Man, I was so extended, which means that my fucking belly. I swear to God, if your skin was so tight, if you would have put a little slit, it just would have been like what? You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah, I don't
crazy.
think he was quite there, but he was definitely fucked up. So.
He had Hardee's. He blamed it on Hardee's.
Yeah, but yeah,
They had parties before we left, like
the morning
an
of.
hour
Yeah.
before we left, and I think that's all we had to eat after that or during that time.
He didn't eat
so-
for like 2 days, like a day and a half maybe. He didn't eat any food.
Oh shit! And had to
Shitting.
perform.
Oh,
not
not
yet.
yet.
We were on our way to California.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't play anything on the way out, so the whole first probably like 3 or 4 days we're just getting to California.
And getting our.
Oh,
stuff
you
and
started
everything.
your tour here.
Yeah.
We started at Holmes,
Okay.
yeah, in Santa Ana.
Yeah, so first day we drove out here. The first day, like the first real day we were in California, we went and saw like our sponsors, picked up our merch, picked up the CDs, and then chilled out. And the next day was our first show. No, it was that day of was the first show. We picked up
No,
all our
next day.
stuff. Was it the next day? Next day. Thank you, Danny. Fuck it.
And you know, just saying, okay, Adam, I'm right there with you, brother. Okay, because being a drummer. And if you got the fucking squirts, dude, it's no fucking fun because you're already sitting on a throne.
Yeah.
It's not a
You
porcelain
said the
throne.
same
But
thing.
see, your
Yeah, he said that.
body is like going, I'm sitting. It's time to take a shit.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
We actually got. Oh, sorry.
You want
go
to go on stage with a diaper.
Yeah, we're gonna give him some Depends. And he
We
can go
actually
up there
we
and
got
get-
him a thing. It's like it connects to his double bass pedals, and it's a squatty potty. So it like lifts your legs up.
Oh my god! He was like that little unicorn thing. See, like,
Adam is that shit rainbow. So.
But I never, at no point was he ever like, "Oh, I'm not gonna play the show."
No, yeah, the entire
Yeah,
time.
whether he was sick from that,
He actually got like a kind of
he
like
had
a flu kind of sick. Yeah.
bronchitis type of deal, like for a week or so.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, he
point
definitely
was
had an upper
like-
respiratory infection for sure.
Something.
Fucking A.
And I was
No
I
point-
was
yeah,
sitting
no
next
point
to
being
him
on
because
one
me and
point.
him are like kind of the driving buddies. I mean, me and Danny drove together once, but like
I did
me
not
and
drive
me
much
and
this
me
tour.
and Adam are like kind of like when we need to get somewhere, we're just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, vocalist trying to not get sick from him too,
Right.
and then not sleeping to make sure he's okay. So it's like it was tough, but
He always play the show.
killed
He'll
it.
he'll like help us unload. He'll play the show, give it everything he's got to the point where you're gonna die. Show ends and he's asleep because he's fucking dead.
Find like a
afterwards.
dark area and just crash
Yeah.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, Adam.
Is he listening right now? Do you guys
Is
know
he
if he's
on?
listening? Should we message him?
Yeah, Adam, watch this.
Yeah, if he's not
Yeah,
listening,
because I
he's
gotta, yeah. See if he's fucking watching
He's
before
probably watching
I
The
ask
Office.
this question
No,
because
he's watching The Office.
this is gonna be a really good question for Adam.
I'm gonna try to get him on here, but yeah.
No, he has to. I want him to respond. So yeah,
All right.
I'm listening
I'm going into the band chat here.
because we're gonna see how honest this motherfucker is. But
Oh.
while he's making sure he's doing that, one thing I noticed with all the fucking hair he's got going on,
You see him naked?
Dude, his whole body. He's got more hair. He's got more hair on his arm than my entire body.
He's got more hair than I do on my head. Like, no.
I was talking about this, but yeah, I did put my foot and fucking my mouth on that one.
Like Sasquatch or what?
But
Yes.
I got like an elliptical of hair.
but when I jam, dude, I sweat like profusely.
Oh, he's sweating. Yeah, I mean, he definitely.
But
You're
he was sweating,
yeah.
but I'm like going, God damn, he's not really breaking all that much of a sweat, and he's playing his goddamn ass off.
And he wears a hoodie every show.
Yep.
Yeah. We all. I think, except for this tour, we've all wore hoodies every single show.
Like,
we always
even
wear
in
hoodies.
Florida, it's hot as fuck.
We're wearing hoodies.
sweaters on stage.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
do that shit in Florida. This was my
You
first
do? No, you've been wearing hoodies the whole.
No, no,
Florida?
no,
Yeah.
no, he hasn't even had a
in
hoodie
Florida.
No, we do. He
Oh,
doesn't
he just wear a
really.
t-shirt.
Yeah,
I actually
but
don't know.
since we're on
Sorry,
tour,
Dennis.
we
Yeah,
don't
no, we
have
have apparel rules for us
do.
whenever we're playing back in Florida or when we're playing somewhere else.
Yeah, when we're playing somewhere not in Jacksonville, we'll call them away games, and we wear whatever we want.
Yeah.
But if we're in Jacksonville or in Florida, I have to wear all black, and I
yeah.
can't wear a jacket. I wear a black V-neck.
Yeah,
Bustier.
we all wear hoodies though
was a
for every
bustier.
show.
All right, so I know I've already asked Dan this question, but so now, what is Cody?
Yes.
What are the? How did you get to become a guitar player? You know, because I it's interesting. I don't because I can already tell that you guys, okay, guitar and guitar really mesh well together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean,
So many weird
you could already,
similarities,
you could already tell that. You know, I mean, just by the way you guys perform and just strum on stage, it was like boom. You know what I mean? Two peas in a fucking
it was like a
pod.
click from day one with us. Yeah.
So now, where does you?
They're actually lovers.
What your guitar?
Where does that come from?
Your guitar player? How did you start playing guitar? Your influence? What got you driving in that direction?
So originally, like my dad was into like music and played like in garage bands and stuff like that. And he gave me like this like broke ass acoustic guitar when I was like a kid, like real young, like 4 or 5. And then at some point I was like, I actually want to like start playing guitar. And my parents like always had like Metallica or Led Zeppelin or Van Halen or like these like classic rock metal bands always playing, even when I was like a baby. So I'd like fall asleep to like Metallica, like Master of Puppets and stuff like that. So when I started playing guitar, that's what I learned originally was like Black Dog and like everyone learns like the Solo to Eruption, stuff like that. And eventually that took me like deeper and deeper into metal and like obviously like Slipknot and Lamb of God and Linkin Park and Godsmack, and these bands were really prominent when I was growing up, and that eventually led me to more heavy stuff. And at some point I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play stuff that's just all screaming, and that's where I ended up now. So I guess like to answer your question, it was just I just did it since I was a kid. And
Okay, so now, as far as like just the use of notes on the guitar, okay, because I never heard anybody explain it as well as Keith Richards when it comes to guitar and what when you're playing. I mean, there's like for instance, and Adam knows where I'm coming from. Scott and Vijay is like ghost strokes on the drum.
Yeah.
There's subtle notes.
They're very specific.
You just don't know they're. A lot of times you don't know they're there,
You
but
feel
they
them.
are
They
there,
feel
and they
it.
make the
Yeah.
music full. So now,
Yeah. Why did I choose the notes? That I
well,
used?
no. I'm just what I'm saying is that so. Because you were mentioning, I mean, you don't mind me asking your age.
No,
'cause
but
you're
I-
definitely younger than
yeah.
me. So how old are you?
He's 19.
He's 19.
26.
26.
Just
We're 26.
He's 21 at
Yeah,
least.
did 27.
So I'm exactly twice your age.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Now, what you were mentioning, is bands that were new. I mean, that were happening. The albums were coming out. You mentioned when I was younger.
Yeah.
And so now comparing, that from now. I mean, how do you feel as far as those types of structures and those types of notes that you're gonna play in the music? Because I was watching your guitar playing. Okay, where do you think a lot of that influence comes from? Old school or new school? I'm not saying
Honestly,
just the heaviness.
Just I definitely think a lot of the positioning of my fingers definitely comes from more old stuff. I'd say like the way like my fingers move for things like Crazy Train or like Carry On My Wayward Son, things like that. They feel really good on my fingers and my hands. So
She said.
yeah, that's right, ladies. No, but so when we were writing the music, we used like the same like 8 notes throughout basically the whole record, and that's because I wanted a very specific sound to it. But the actual shapes of it are very similar to a lot of old classic music I learned, like learning Metallica, learning Van Halen, learning things from like Robert Plant, stuff like that. Just felt comfortable with because I played it for like my whole life.
The tuning is also like
Very-
it's for specific. Like we
Yeah.
create, like we have. It's not like something that everyone would.
It's not a normal
play.
tuning,
So
yeah.
I think he set the tuning to match that.
But definitely more
Drop
of the
C,
finger-
drop D.
drop
F
G sharp on the 6 string.
G sharp, yeah.
And the 7 string is drop A on the top 6 strings, and the lowest string is actually an F sharp. So it doesn't make a full chord if you strum like a normal chug on that. You can't play the bottom 2 strings on the 7 string like you normally would because it'll make a dissonant chord. So we only use the 7 string as like a really heavy accent to riffs. So it's still in key, but it is incredibly heavier than the top 6, which is
So drop A, drop G sharp.
with F sharp.
So is that what? So mind you, I'm a drummer, not a guitar
Yeah.
player. So, but I know visual because I always pay attention to my guitar player and my bass player. So that's why I was seeing like you going back and forth on some of the stuff, and I'm like, oh, that was interesting. As a ghost, am I correct on that? Or am I completely wrong on that?
No, I think you're with
right.
it. Yeah, there's definitely like there are accents like as a drummer that like when I give Adam the songs to write drums to, there's accents that he'll put into it that are like they're appropriate to the music and they're felt more than heard that just take what I'm envisioning and what I'm feeling as that movement, as that emotion, and
Right.
he'll just accentuate
Because
it.
we actually write guitars first. That's
Yeah.
the first
All the music
thing
gets done
of all
first.
the music, and we'll do program drums, and then Adam will step in and actually give the accents to that if he feels like those parts fit.
Well, he'll make them to his own drums.
Right.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, no, this is the base setting of maybe we want the drums fast or slow. That's what the program drums are for, and then he'll go and make them what they should be. How he plays drums.
Yeah, he gets 2 takes. He gets a take with the bullshit drums I write to say I want this to like have this type
Danny,
of
did you
vibe.
comment on the fucking live stream?
Yeah, of course. I'm talking to him.
We're all talking. Danny's over here commenting on the live.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to answer him.
Oh, that must be Stevie then.
Yeah. Okay. Basically.
What's going on, Stevie Vin? Hey, is Adam? Did he
Oh
respond?
shit! Let me see.
I don't know, did he?
He's probably asleep. He hasn't even seen my message yet.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
He's
down
probably
to the
knocked
well.
out. Damn it!
call him and put him on
I know.
speakerphone.
Yeah, call him.
Yeah,
Cody,
you
call him.
should wake his fucking ass up, dude. Because I got a good one, man.
Yeah.
And I had another.
Hold
one.
on.
There we go. Bam. Oh, you're. I'm
calling him, man.
There you go. Fucking A.
Watch, he's probably gonna be like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Bro, I'm shitting. Leave me alone. Is this motherfucker screening my call right now?
He's probably listening and like, oh, fuck that. I'm not.
You You know. You tell me.
Hey, Zig wants to ask you a question.
Okay.
Oh, okay, he's there. Okay, so Adam, so they've been talking about you having the squirts in part of the fucking tour.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Okay, so now my thing, Adam, was that it's difficult because obviously a drummer is sitting on a throne, not a porcelain throne, but you're still in that position. And it's obviously difficult for a drummer when they've got the squirts going on. When your body's like going, well, shit, if you're going to be in this position, I'm just going to, hey. So now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you a true fucking story, dude. I was playing at the whiskey, dude, and I was sick, and I had the fucking squirts, man, and I had to fart, and it was there, and I'm like going, okay, so I just kind of like tilted my cheek a little bit to see if I could squeeze that sumbitch out, dude, and it had some company. And, had to finish the gig. But I'm telling you, I backed off that stage. Okay, I didn't do the whole thing. Oh yeah, let me turn around and walk off the stage.
Like song one.
So now, no, this is actually like almost towards the end of the set. Okay,
all right.
So I did have a brown spot in my fucking britches. Has this happened on this tour?
This is your important.
I want to see how honest this Adam's gonna be, because I'm telling you.
Adam, do we have brown spots?
Do we have a brown spot?
Nah, that shit was over before that. I was sick for some other shit. But yeah, I could see that happening.
Okay. All right. So I just did a TMI on my fucking self thing.
So we brought a pair of Adam's underwear for the live viewers. No, I'm just joking.
What about Stevie? Freaking sure Stevie fucking had one of those.
All right,
We probably did on purpose.
Yeah, all right.
All right, we'll call you guys.
Go back to sleep, Adam.
to sleep.
I don't call him Dirty Steve for nothing.
So Stevie, you need to answer that question, man. You ever had a brown spot in your britches and live on the fucking stage, man? You just had to keep on playing. And the thing is, it's like because you're jamming. Unfortunately, it was towards the end of the set. But when you're playing double bass, dude, you're doing this and your ass is moving like this, and it's kind of like fucking, wet.
Right.
Yeah.
A little hint: if you ever feel like you have to shit or something, and you have to get on stage like before you have a chance, go to the bathroom and grab some toilet paper. At least put it in your fucking pants.
See, because that means somebody else had.
No.
Oh.
I just precaution. Like, it's never happened, but I was just like, fucking A.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've had to do that once or twice, and it's like, nope, I'm not going to do that. Because if you got to tear your shit down and up, you don't want fucking a stain in your fucking pants if you have to.
Like
That's
some
fucked up.
CKY shit.
Yeah, people like, what the fuck was that?
Well, fortunately, I'm in the back, so you know what I mean? So there's like, nobody, but it was like.
Well, I got a fan in front of me, blowing me, so it's like it's going to go around if it does.
When we go, because you guys have been to the whiskey, but you played live at the whiskey. So we go in the dressing room, and my singer, nobody knew nothing. I was like, okay, I'm good to go. For some reason, man, my fucking good singer got me. Dude, did you see yourself? Boy, did you shit yourself?
Stevie's watching right now.
Stevie.
What's your question?
Did you hear your question?
Yeah. So, Stevie, what we're talking about, man, is Adam. He was sick on this tour, and I just had a question to see if he, had to squeeze a fart out, and if it had a visitor. It did happen to me live on the stage. And I'm just kind of seeing it was Stevie. If you're going to be honest, and if you ever had that happen to you,
either call me or answer on this.
Yeah, or just answer on,
Stevie,
on the thing.
Call.
Nothing to call.
I don't know. What?
Well, he can call on the phone. Call on the phone.
Either way.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Moving on.
So,
anyways, moving on. We're going.
Call
See, that's what happens on the Zig Zone. We fucking make a right, make another right, and we just keep on making these fucking rights. We're like, going, somebody make a left, please. Somebody turn left. You're right. Oh man.
Fuck yourself. Motherfucker.
But JJ, you got a question for the guys?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Because I'm still here.
This mic's still not working.
Well, you guys
Wait,
turn.
we can
are
hear
you
you.
there?
It's working now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Dang.
You just got to get up on it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like really close up on it. Just make love to that mic.
Make the
Right?
girl touch the back of your throat.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm back.
Kevin.
I'm back. No, I'm going to make a left.
Okay.
I'm making a left turn now.
Vape in
Okay.
here?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Vaping is okay. You just can't have cigarettes and cigars inside of
fuck
it.
it.
Nicotine in
Vaping
it,
is
but-
okay. But now,
some of that, Devin.
this was my question. So now, as
it
far
a
as
good vape?
vocal wise, all right. I don't know because I just don't want you to say Lemmy. For some reason, I don't want you to say Lemmy because I think that's everyone's easy out. Okay, going back to old school, but it could be. But I don't want you to say Lemmy. I want you to just pull something out of the ordinary.
butthole.
What is an end? Yeah. See, now we made it right. We went back to the right again.
I need you.
We went back to the
He
right.
said he wants
Every
salami.
time I fucking I want it.
So give me some influences
some
because
salami.
you have a it's not just you're just not screaming. It's not like a Lamb of God where the guy pretty much has a vocal range of like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely got a good.
So
track
now
over
give us an idea of the history of your vocal. You know, because you said you do folk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, because if I were to watch you on stage, let's say like say you guys played a dual night. Now, INDIVISION was the headliner, and then like there was two bands, and then you were playing for the beginning band,
Yeah.
and it was fucking folk shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then I seen you on stage, and I'm like going, and then you start singing. I'm like going, what the fuck happened here? You know what I mean? Did this guy like you like go into the phone booth and come out as Superman or something?
Yeah, I mean, well,
So-
like me and Danny have talked about actually like doing like shows, just acoustic shows, like
Yeah, we're
just
gonna start doing stuff.
on
But,
the side when we're doing INDIVISION stuff.
So it's
But
more like what his influences are.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, how do you go from doing folk and stuff like that to what you're doing now and the influence to get you at that point? Because
Yeah.
you said you started singing.
yeah. I mean, like for me, like so I started out. I mean, actually, like singing wise, I'd say when I lived in Maine, I hadn't really played music for a while. I was mainly a bassist and guitarist, and I played in a pretty decent band in South Florida for a while, and had our like lead singer kind of like walk out on us to go to another band, like right before a nationwide tour. And so it kind of like gave me this kind of like weird vibe about the music industry in general. I'm like, man, if people are just gonna like screw people over for that, like what am I even working towards, you know? So when I moved to Maine, I was there for like maybe 2 years, and then I was like, you know what, like I need an instrument to play. I kind of gave up on music for a while, and so I ordered an acoustic guitar online on eBay for like $120, and started playing again. And I was like, you know what, like I want to play live. So I started just joining these like live, you know, these like open mics and just doing just like Radiohead and Thrice songs. Like Thrice is a huge influence on me. I love Dustin Kensrue. He is like one of the most amazing vocalists that I feel like, for me, like not just vocalist, but like lyricist. Like, to be able to combine those two things together.
So what you're saying is like you'll suck his dick right off.
Just right off. You'll melt his dick.
No. He's
Okay.
no.
I thought that was
I highly respect him, and if he ever listens to this, Dustin, you're the man. But
And he'll suck
but yeah, so I started singing just like randomly, like in just for open mic nights. I ended up like running an open mic night at a jazz bar that I worked at for a while, and so I did clean vocals for a long time. Actually, led worship for a church for 2.5 years before I joined this band, and I did church music for a long time. That was actually where I learned music.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Thrice is a Christian band.
Yeah, well,
And so is
well,
Chariot.
Yeah, well, like they're not like Christian bands, but they're Christians in a band.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, and that was one thing that really actually helped propel them.
Yeah.
And Under Oath actually had to come back with this new album that they came out with, Erase
they
Me,
weren't anymore, yeah.
to say that they weren't anymore, because you just pigeonhole yourself by
Yeah.
saying I'm a Christian band. You got to hold up this persona, and it's like, dude, like
you
I
get
mean, I
sold
don't
in so
care.
many
I mean, for
stores.
me, like, you know, I'm a Christian, but I don't want to hold, like, God doesn't hold that shit over me. You know, like whatever. And so it's like, dude, it's like live your life, you know, like don't feel pressured by other people's like expectations on you as an artist. That's how you kill yourself, you know? And so like for me, like basically within this band, I mean, I had been screaming for a long time and doing, you know, dirty vocals, like just in the car, just mimicking people. So like August Burns Red, Memphis Mayfire, Pantera, freaking like, you know, Pantera was like cutting edge.
Oh, Phil Ensemble,
like
come on.
cutting edge, dude, you know? Like just listening to those guys and being able to see like the range of things that they could do with their vocals and also keep it up on a touring schedule was just inspiring to me. So like coming into this band, it was like I never thought I was going to be in a, you know, metal band at 30 years old. Like I just thought I was just going to play folk music for the rest of my life.
It's his first time screaming in a band.
And
before this, it's only been clean vocals.
And it's just been something that like I've always wanted to do since I was like 15, and I was at my first metal show, like at this Christian venue in Jacksonville called Murray Hill, and like it was the only place my mom would drop me off because she knew it was a Christian venue, but she didn't know I was going to see metal shows.
They don't serve alcohol. They
don't serve alcohol, so it's like she's like, "Oh, he's safe there." But like that was like where like I just like fed on this, like, you know. And my mom always asked me, she's like, "I don't understand why you have to scream," and I'm like, "It's just there's just so much more emotion that could be conveyed in that way." I think also with singing too, but it has to like serve the song in a particular way. Mm-hmm. And with our kind of music, it's like just gotta just go for it, and it's screaming and like, yeah. So I mean, I think my biggest influence is probably Jake Lewis from August Burns Red as far as my vocal technique, because he is very just ranged, you know. Yeah. So I taught myself to get the low lows and the high highs and maintain that.
The low mid highs and the high mid lows.
Yeah, so when we're recording, it's like, hey man, can you give me a take? It's like a low mid high, like just like random ass shit, you know. So, but yeah, so
get on that vocal pogo stick, man.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Vijay, what'd you think of the show on last night?
It was fucking good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Now do we have anything to play or?
Yeah. Actually,
I haven't heard them yet.
Well, see, if Vijay would have showed up sooner.
No, this was last night.
Yeah, this was last night.
Oh, no, I was a football freak, so I had to be there.
Dude,
we were watching that.
Hey, that game was wild.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got Bloom queued up in here if you want me to play it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great. So now let me make sure.
You haven't heard us at all.
I need to make sure.
I've heard him in other bands, but not with
the same.
this band.
Yeah, this is way different.
Okay, I want to make sure those of you that are on Facebook go on to YouTube. Pop up another window, open up another window, go on YouTube, Kaotic Radio. When you hit enter, boom, it's going to have the live, because you're not going to be able to hear the music because it's going to go through the YouTube.
Yep.
Or if you're on the kaoticradio.us, you would hear it. But trust me, it's just a lot more funner on YouTube because you get to see my ugly face and all these handsome motherfuckers.
There is a little thing
thank
with the YouTube thing.
What's that?
It says Nerd Dungeon.
Nerd Dungeon.
But
That's what I was doing earlier when the sound came through. I was clicking on it to check it. It was like Nerd Dungeon, Dragon Ball Doom, and Magic the Gathering.
That sounds kind of like us.
Yeah,
Some decisions are based off of D&D dice in our band.
Oh, hell yeah.
100%. Yeah, we have a dice roller on the phone that we make decisions with it.
so we'll give everyone a couple seconds to.
So this is our music
chime in.
video.
So
Go
yeah, so
over to
now
the
this
Nerd Dungeon.
Yeah, so Bloom is the video, but now what is Bloom about?
Yeah, so the whole album in itself, and we kind of killed ourselves to a certain degree, but we got through it. We did it. Yeah. The kind of premise for the album was just we just wanted the perspective of someone coming from a very dark place. Mm-hmm. And the beginning of the album kind of encompasses that, moving into breakthrough in perspective, coming into a new light, in your life,
in darkness,
and just realizing that, but also not just that, also realizing that in those dark moments of life, you have to face those in order to move out of them. Like you can't just push it away and think it's not gonna, you know, it's just gonna work itself out. So for me, as far as like I wrote all the lyrics on the record, like all of it has to deal with like facing your fears, pushing through into that new perspective. And that's really what Bloom is about. It's kind of like the crescendo of the album because it's different. We actually have singing on the song. None of the other songs have singing on them. And we did that purposefully because we wanted to show like this is where like the actual breakthrough happens in your life when you're coming. Because I mean, for me, like I suffer from really like chronic depression. And it's something I have to deal with and people have to deal with all around, you know, like, and it's not something you could just fix, you know? So for me, it was just about showing that transition in a season of like coming from a very dark place to breaking through to something new and knowing that there's always something on the other side of where you're at.
On that note, this is what I, you know, because people get the bad perception, like most people when they listen to like heavy music. Oh, there's someone they're just pounding on the drums and they're just fucking hitting this drinks and the guys just
I have a
screaming. Yeah, yeah,
Devil music.
yeah. So,
Hey, I came from a church. People were like, "Oh, the devil's got a hold of his heart," and I'm like,
Right, yeah.
"Read the lyrics, bro."
you know, but the thing is that you know. People don't realize the actual emotion that it. Why don't you? Well, instead of just listening, why don't you go ahead and put the lyrics in front of yourself?
Yep.
You can go on YouTube. You can go on, and people will have the lyrics, or you can go on to their website and they'll have the
Right.
lyrics. Why don't you just check out the album? Why don't you? If you know, but it's. I don't know of any heavy band that's sit there like many bands nowadays, and they're not even bands. They're just like. If you want to call them artists, okay? That are like all about me this, me that. Oh, look at all the bitches I fuck. Look at all the money I have. Look at my yacht. You know what I'm, you know what I'm saying, dude? It's like if everyone's fucking riding their life around the fucking Kardashians. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know, heavy music. You know, I don't know if any band, whether it be heavy metal, heavy, but
Right.
or metal or just rock. That is like talking about, well, look what I've done and all this,
Right.
look at this bitch I screwed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You start
Yeah.
coming from.
Well,
See
yeah.
what you're doing
I mean-
is you're relaying a story.
Right. And I mean, the thing for me too is also like, even when we were on tour with Screams of Sirens, I want to give them a shout out. They're a fucking amazing band.
They were.
They're fucking
Sirens.
You guys need to get me in touch
Screams
with
of
them.
Sirens.
guys.
Yeah, we
You
will.
guys got to
We'll
get me in
get
touch
you-
with
yeah.
them. They were
But,
impressive.
I was talking to Trevor, our lead vocalist. Like, we bonded a lot on this tour, and like, one thing I said to him, I was just like, even on this record, you'll notice, we're a really heavy metal band, but like, I don't cuss on any of my lyrics, and I did that intentionally, and it was like not because I fucking hate cussing, but like, but it was because for me, I just see so many people going into a shallow place lyrically. And it's just like, people do grab onto some of those songs that really don't mean shit, and that's cool. Like, whatever floats your boat. But for me, like, I want to be able to tell a genuine story and not be, and like, I feel like sometimes if you cuss through your record or
look
whatever,
at this fucking guy.
like, it's kind of just, it's kind of replacing meaningful lyrics that could be there. Because you want to give that intensity. You think that saying the word fuck is going to like bring certain crazy intensity. But for me, I wanted to prove that I could produce a clean record lyrically and still be heavy as shit, Well,
a perfect example in comedy. Bill Cosby
Yeah.
was funny as all get out. Funny.
Right.
No, yeah.
Well, obviously the women weren't too happy about it, but he didn't cuss.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you have Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
still equally funny,
George
Yeah.
Carlin, yeah.
and George
I love George.
George Hart very rarely. He
Yeah.
did throw a one in there once in a while, but
He had
he
the whole
was.
list of cuss words. What are you talking about?
But no, he wasn't. But he wasn't. No, I'm
Did he do like the fuck like
was a
definition?
Yeah, but he wasn't like Richard Pryor or or Eddie Murphy or
Right.
Andrew Dice Clay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But back to my point is no, you don't have to do that.
Right.
You know, it's
And I'm not doubting anybody else who does that. If that's what you are feeling in the moment, but for me personally, as a vocalist and lyricist, like it was just something that it's something that I hold true to because I want people to see that. I want people to see something that's different. I don't want to be up there saying, "Oh, you fucking pussies," blah blah blah. You know, like that's cool and that has a setting. But for me, and the way that I wanted to convey myself through this record was clean, completely clean and open and honest in that way, because I feel like people can be open and honest in that way.
Without
you know?
swearing.
okay.
You swear live though, and it's like
I do swear live, and that was one thing actually at the beginning I said I was never going to do, but I do. Like I was like, you know what, dude, like this is me, and like you'll hear sometimes some of the lyrics in our album. It's like, and actually this song, it's like this is who I'm meant to be, you know, and like I feel like for me personally, like I moved through this really dark season of life, coming out of kind of like a meaningful relationship, like that just went to shit. And, you know, yeah, you know, but like my thing was like, I came into writing thinking, okay, I'm going to get back at this person, or I'm going to like whatever. But I realized I was like, shit, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe my internal dialogue needs to change. And that's where I started realizing, oh wait, I can take my problems and make them real, like and open and honest to other people that can, you know, connect with that.
There's no like anti-women songs on this or anti-X songs.
No, yeah. And that was the thing. I was like writing one song and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get her back, whatever, blah blah. And it's like, no, that's not my shit. That's not my goal.
Come on.
I don't have enough tequila.
Okay, well, you know, that being said, you got that all queued up there?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, we gave you guys all enough chance to click onto YouTube. So that way you guys can go ahead and listen in to INDIVISION. And this is not only a song on their new album, but it is also a video. And they can see that video at
YouTube.
On YouTube.
Just YouTube.
YouTube.com.
But, I mean-
INDIVISION FL.
INDIVISION
And they
FL.
can... Okay, there. Say it again.
INDIVISION FL.
INDIVISION FL on
INDIVISION FL?
Instagram. You can search INDIVISION Bloom, BLOOM,
It will come up.
and you'll find it.
All right. Well, there you go. Let's do this.
This is who I'm meant to be.
Fucking A. Fucking A. That's what I am talking about, dude. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was badass.
We actually didn't even plan singing at the end of that.
No, that was,
just
that was the
happened.
in-studio thing. Yeah,
Yep.
I asked Evan to sing for me, and he was like, I don't want to sing. And
I
was
think
like,
I wrote
"Please."
this song in literally a day,
Yeah.
Really?
as far as lyrics go.
The music was wrote in a day. I had the majority of it already wrote out for what I wanted.
Asshole, Jack.
Fucking vajayjay.
This guy.
Are we in the
I love
tunnel?
you,
What's
JJ.
going on here?
Not yet.
And I had the most of the song written out, and I was like, hey, I'm going to start laying it down today. And Devin was with me, so he was with me while I was laying down like all of the song, and we had like some like input back and forth. And then he had maybe a day and a half with it to write lyrics, and then we went in the studio to finish tracking
Yeah, we
all
didn't
the
hear it
vocals.
beforehand.
Because actually,
Oh yeah, they had no idea what the song sounded
Well,
like.
yeah, we were-
So I was just like, we kind of trust in Devin that way. So he just goes to the studio, lays it down, that's it.
and
Yeah.
the good thing is I'm prepared, so I get shit done fast.
Yeah, and
Don't
we have a
worry about it.
really good relationship when recording.
Yeah,
like
no,
I
we do.
think I'm pretty easy to work with, but like I'll be like, hey, try this or try
No,
that.
you're
and
super easy. But then also, I'm pretty super easy.
So easy,
Just like
baby.
our buttholes.
I just know what I'm gonna do when I go in.
The easiest of buttholes with me and Devin.
Yeah.
Ladies,
Love you, Mom.
dudes.
Fucking romance me to get in my butthole.
Just gotta rub your shoulders. You're done.
Oh, that's romantic. That's romantic.
That's romantic.
Romantic.
I'll rub your shoulders every day.
There you go.
No, yeah, we had like a what was it? We had like a deadline to get the album done, and we literally recorded this whole album in like 3 weeks.
Hey, Justice has
Maybe,
a question
probably.
from YouTube.
Oh, what is it?
Wait, what?
Well-
Justice?
Justice.
What's up,
Tanner,
Justice?
hey,
Of course, Justice. Am I cool to read this, or you guys need to do something, or?
No. I'm just making sure my battery doesn't die, so we
Okay.
have the Mevo and the Facebook thing still going on.
All right. So one of our peeps out in Jacksonville says, "I see your guys' live rig is contained entirely within the rack mounts. Is there an explanation as to why you guys do not use standard amps?"
Probably a big reason is
Fuck analog, Justice.
fuck analog.
No.
It's a
Stop.
Big, a big reason.
Stop
is-
it right now. I'm not on board with that.
I love analog. I love I come from a very heavy amp background. I used
Yeah,
Orange and Messes
same.
before this. MPVs. I had a 5150 that I love. Block letter
I use mainly
original.
orange. I'm Mesa. I mean, I'm endorsed by Mesa.
You are.
Don't use
Yeah.
them.
So he joined the band and he was
But I
like-
don't use them.
Yeah, using the in-ear rig that we use with the rack setup, it enables us to have a lot less space while touring. We don't have to have these big 50-pound heads and giant cabs that are 4x12s. We don't have to have all of that on top of road cases.
Right.
So we save a ton of space and time. And we use Line 6 Helix for our entire live rig. And the nice thing about that is that we have this really perfected high-end sound. Like I'm used to using Line 6. We can load our own custom IRs into it, which ours are from JST. Thank you, Joey Sturgis. You're a great guy.
Right.
So
Love you,
we
Joey.
have that, but also like if we have any effects or things that are running, they switch automatically. So it just has things that save time for us. Like our music isn't about us like playing these intricate parts, and it is about us hitting a bunch of stomp pedals. It's about us having a good time, putting on a groove that people can enjoy with us, and we just want to be able to put that out live.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
we
also
just want to party and have fun. And
we're,
have fun
we're
with
also
people.
not like at the the whim of like, these different venues. They don't always have the same microphones, They don't always have the same, you know,
lets us
like
control our
text or
sound,
whatever.
yeah.
So like it just keeps that consistency of the sound going, you know, anywhere
and
we
to
go.
a point,
Usually.
to a point, it eliminates. There are certain places we cannot play because of our system. We cannot play at certain venues, so it almost eliminates us from
like in Vegas.
experiencing
There's
certain
some
venues.
spots in Vegas, like let's say Double Down Saloon. You know, everyone plays there except for they only mic the singer.
Vocals,
There's
yeah,
only vocals. They don't mic the drums. They don't mic the amps because of the way the room's set up. It's not a big venue, but that's all they do. So we could have played there, but then we can't because they can't handle our system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as much as it would be cool to play there, people go there all the time. It's always a lot of people there. Have you played there before?
No, he
Oh,
deals
okay,
with the same shit.
I deal with the same bullshit. We played at some shithole down in Lakewood, and it was like, oh my god.
Was it the Anarchy Library?
No.
We don't want to name
I don't want to
names.
name them.
Yeah, we don't want to name names.
I'll call it all day.
Hashtag get his name.
I don't even come for it
Fuck
anymore.
him. Call out.
The place was packed, but it was like, holy shit. It's like they couldn't handle the inputs and outputs. They're like, oh, what, you got in-ears? What?
What? Yeah,
Like,
our system is so simple. We just send 5 XLR lines to the house.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
usually-
that
well,
crazy.
That in that sense, our rig isn't a problem to any venue for that part because I know mostly when people have in-ears, they have to go to the house and the house will have to send the in-ears back. To
Well,
you.
we don't have that issue.
What I usually do is I'll look for the monitor if it's there, and I'll just unplug the monitor and plug it into my
That makes
wireless.
sense. That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that way, I don't care. If it's mono, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Just
Whatever it
any
is.
feed, whatever's going to that monitor is going to now go.
Well, yeah,
to my
because you
ear.
know your in-ears are going to sound like shit.
Well,
compared
ours
to
are
anything out
put
in the front of house.
Ours is self-contained.
As far as like, well,
so we don't
space,
have to
you
We
know?
have
trust
our own
anything
rig,
from
yeah.
the house.
Yeah, but I can't have that loud shit blaring in my fucking ears.
Oh Jesus! We turn off all of the live monitors. We turn off. We have our own X32, so
Yeah.
all of the signal runs to a split. One half of it goes to us in our in-ears, and the rest of it goes to the house. So on stage, it's dead silent. There's nothing coming through the house.
Besides the drummer's there.
So
That's it.
we're jamming out to whatever the fuck's in our ears, and that's it.
Well, that's me too. I mean, I'd have it no other way now because I played at the Regent recently in L.A. and it's one of the oldest theaters there, and it's bitchin' place. But I forgot my fucking in-ears.
Oh fuck! I feel
one
like I'm
thing I
always
forgot.
wearing mine. I'm wearing mine right now. I feel like they're just always on.
And so, but
Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
So I had to have everything blaring in my ears. And it was just like the first time in a long time, and it was so different.
Yeah.
If you're not
Yeah,
used to
Danny
it.
didn't come from in-ears.
I mean, I think though also like
You didn't come from in-ears, right?
I've used in-ears before, but
Not like this.
not like this. Not where like the whole band, everything's just in-ears.
Now, do you guys use ClickTrack?
yes,
do.
Everyone's
100%.
everyone's on a click.
Our whole set is pre-programmed to a full click track.
That's what I was
Even
going
the
to
first
say.
30 seconds of our set is on click track.
Yeah,
For
it's
the audience. I don't know if you remember that, but
love playing the click.
the whole
Yeah.
intro has a click track
Yeah.
fucking around with everyone.
Yeah.
I've had almost, I think, about
wasn't there,
half
but
of the tour.
I get it.
I've had someone come up to
Seattle.
me and say, "I heard your click track through the mix," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, that was supposed to be there."
In Seattle, he
So
was
it's
got
supposed to be
tackled.
Yeah, it's ran up on stage
ass
and
dude,
talked to
though.
me. Yeah, he
He's
was really
actually
awesome.
from Florida. He
Wait,
just
at
moved to
Elko?
Oregon.
Was that Elko?
No.
That
From
guy?
Seattle.
No,
Yeah,
they're
Elko.
they're from Panama Beach. They moved to Portland and then drove out, I guess, to Seattle, and then almost tackled him on stage to tell him that our
click track was coming out.
And the only reason why we actually did that, so me and Cody
Was
wrote that
yeah.
song together on
Childish
guitars,
Gambino, yeah.
and we're listening to Childish Gambino beforehand, and Childish Gambino actually has a click track in one of his albums
It's
that you
from
can
a
hear
World Star
going
yeah.
through
He
the track.
he takes the Ableton click track and runs it through a bunch of delays on World Star and makes like the beat out of it. It's like digga 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 digga. And I was like, cool. Why don't we do that to start our metal song?
Well, that and also we were like
were
let's like
fucked up.
not let's like we're fucked up, and we're like let's not listen to metal. Let's listen to something completely opposite. And like
Rap.
Yeah,
Right,
the
right to
whole
that.
the whole
Post
breakdown on
Malone.
that the whole breakdown on that song was actually I made a lot of hip hop music before this band, so I took a hip hop rhythm and I just replaced all the kicks with chugs, and that's how we actually made the rhythm for the breakdown. Was
Yep.
we took a hip hop beat and made it because hip hop beats traditionally a really party vibe, and
Yeah, and like I said, we're a party band.
we like to party.
they want me to write music about parties, but I'm really too deep for that. So.
Well,
We like parties. it's fine.
speaking of party, Tiffany Luna says, excuse me, where's the Jaeger?
Yeah,
Right?
where the fuck is the
That's on you guys.
That's
That's not. I mean,
that's
I
one of
can't.
my old singers.
Nah, we good.
When I was a
Okay,
kid.
I can't. I know
Yeah.
Tiffany.
We actually
Yeah, yeah.
drank all the Egger in Southern California earlier So we have to drink tequila now.
Tiffany's
Sorry,
actually
Tiffany.
really
I like
good.
tequila. Tequila's
So
my
you should bring
favorite.
it.
Besides
So why
wine, my
isn't
favorite
Tiffany
liquor, though.
bringing the Jaeger?
She could have, right? She's been
She
on
always
air with
says
us
she's
before.
gonna. Yeah, she's always gonna come. Like say she's gonna come with Jaeger, come to the shows.
Does she not? Does she
Well,
not come with
I,
Jaeger?
see, black licorice.
I can't do it
I
anymore.
can't do black licorice, but I mean, Jaeger, I would, but it's got to be like right out of the freezer.
No, yeah, it has to
But-
be
38.
consistent.
But
cold.
last New Year's, I had a little too much Jaeger, dude, and it's like same thing with Jack Daniels, dude.
Yeah.
I
love
had
Jack
I had
Daniels.
a
Fuck.
night with too much Jack Daniels, and I just can't do it anymore. You know what I mean?
had that with
so now it's a double
fireball.
because it's black licorice, and I did too much, and it's just like, oh no.
We drink quite a lot of Jaeger. We've made like Jaeger promos because of Jaeger. Like
Yeah.
for our like company,
It's
we
just-
have like made like Jaeger promos before. But yeah,
Can't do it anymore.
we drink a lot of Jaeger.
Well,
A Jaeger with Blue Monster.
Yes.
that's
Oh,
the only
blue-
way to do it.
Blue low carb monster.
Blue low
really
carb
good.
Monster
Let's
and
try it.
Jaeger.
Okay, my most
Or-
impressive story I think about Blue or about Monster and Jaeger is when I was on tour. The first time I was on tour in Europe, one of my friends I made on that tour, his name's Tim, German dude.
What's up, Tim?
Yo, Tim.
Yeah. So the whole tour we're drinking Jaeger, and then he asked me if I wanted because we were going back to Germany for another show, and then he was like, "Well, do you want anything?" I was like, "Well, just bring some Jaeger and Monster. The blue low carb monsters." Okay, cool. I got you. So we're driving from where we were. We get to Germany, whatever venue we're at, and then there's this bench there that has a bottle of Jaeger, 2 Monsters, and some Desperados, which is like a Corona with weed in it.
Desperados.
Yeah.
What?
Weed in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he brings those. I was like, okay, cool. You got it. Didn't think
When are we
you
going
had
to
it.
tour in Germany?
I guess we can talk about that. I guess we can talk about that later.
we know something about it later. Right?
Later on the show, yeah, because we're getting that done.
And then you just got to dry it out and then smoke it later, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
okay,
just like
so I'm
some
thinking nothing of it.
hydroponics,
He
yeah.
has the stuff waiting for me there. I was like, cool. How much for it? Whatever. He said, oh, nothing. It's cool. I was like, what'd you have to go through to get it? He was like, well, they don't have blue low carb Monster in Germany. I was like, well, how'd you get it? Well, I just told my brother to give me some. So his brother, who's a pilot, flew to France, went to their wherever gas station there was or whatever was over there, picked up 2 cans of Monster, flew it back, gave it to him so I could have 2
What?
low carb Monsters.
Really?
Flew that.
I wonder
Yeah.
why do they not have? I mean, that's interesting.
even my last-
Well,
my
maybe
last tour
Stevie
there-
could tell us.
Well, even my last
yeah.
tour there, it was they had some there, but it wasn't everywhere. So since 2011 and then 2018, there's been an increase of it, but they have a lot of the fucking weird red ones and brown ones and shit like that, where it's all this flavored stuff, but they don't have a lot of that blue low
like
carb.
low
Monster.
carb, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, kind of like when like it comes like either like McDonald's or
They have been
Burger
there.
Yeah,
King,
it's, like,
whatever.
different.
No, I know they do, but they make shit that you because if you go on to like go into a Google search and like what McDonald's serves in Germany,
Right.
they won't sell it here.
No.
Yeah.
They'll have it in Canada, but they won't.
I found that blue low carb at
Okay, I went like this, and I touched the
Yeah, and a big
keyboard, dude,
case.
but I didn't fuck nothing up. So I'm like going, okay, fuck. So I'm like going, what the hell? I just,
Rod on, bone.
Thanks for JJ.
What are you
thinking about that
Thank you,
shit?
brother.
oh my god, that's
This
funny.
is a lot of fun. Fuck.
Dude, Jay just, hey, I'm back here. We'll let you know. There you go.
Just say cue sound clip. I'm here.
Stiff, piss hard, blue balls.
I'm definitely on balls right now. I'm sitting next to Danny. Fuck.
Okay, but now I want to go to your guys' show.
Cool.
And one of the things that when I go and I see a band, I mean, you can be a real. I mean, the music can
First
be.
of all, thank you for wearing that shirt because I was like, that's the dude.
Yeah, I've got like 5 of them, dude. So I had to make sure, you know. What I mean?
now you need to change it.
This is another one. But I was
Can
actually
I
going to
have
do
your
my
shirt?
California shirt, and but I want to.
No, I mean
Just in
as
case
far as
people didn't know.
the logo.
No, I'm
in case.
gonna make another one. I'm gonna make another because I have to do kaoticradio.us. But anyways, when I go see a band, You know, and me and JJ, we sit there and we talk about the band. Okay, so, you know, this and that.
So Vijay was there the other night?
Yeah, he was the one that looked like Pablo.
Yeah.
Bro, why didn't I meet you,
Yeah, when he
bro?
was like Pablo the Cubano hat on, Russian shit, bro.
The Birkenstocks.
Oh shit, the Birkenstocks. Fucking Dwight Schrute over here.
Oh shit.
But JJ was on like Simon mode. He didn't let me buy him a beer.
Wait, who's the other guy that was with you, though?
That's my bass player. That's Chuck
Oh, yeah.
Lawyer.
Yeah,
That's
he's
my
awesome.
bass player.
Chuck
Yeah,
the fuck.
He was cool.
He's like Danny, you know. He knows when it comes to music, dude. He just knows
27.
everybody. He
God,
can
he's
walk into a
young
place
as
like,
fuck.
I think
"Hey,
he's
I know
younger
you.
than me.
Hey, I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Danny used to say that's why he can just jam with so many different music.
Right.
Oh, we know how Danny plays. Hey, Danny, because you get recruited. Am I correct? Yeah.
Basically, yeah. You got recruited for our shit. Chicken Alfredo. Here we go.
Now, when it comes to a live show, now you can be like I think the only bands that like the big bands like Tool,
Yeah.
you know, it's the best band you've ever seen. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's their kind of whole little vibe thing, but it's the
Maynard
music,
is always really secretive.
right. But now you can't get away with that when you are a striving band.
That's true.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. You have to put on a show. Now, I've watched, me and Vijay, we tried to make sure that we go to all the shows together because we are partners on the Zig Zone. We want to make sure we are on the same level. So we do the pros and cons. We are not judging. We are critiquing
Yeah.
the bands as we're sitting there.
Did you like our live show?
Oh, I'm slow down, Cody. Slow down, Turbo.
He needs that.
He needs affirmation. He needs
Okay.
affirmation.
He's like, wait, did you not like it? He's
Now-
like,
What do I gotta do? Suck your dick?
Now, okay, right on the table, dude. So,
he can fit. He can stand up and fit.
Get your microscope.
Dear God, give me another shot, Tequila. No joke.
well, fortunately, I got a small dick, so you won't choke.
He's got a little small mouth though.
Oh shit.
But now we've seen bands. The music is really there. I mean, it's tight. It's just exactly what it needs to be. But there's no show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like I was really impressed. He instead of like, you know, because like the old school thing where it was like, you know, throw the guitar around and it just loop around and you catch it.
Did he whip his hair? Because
He's just like he's
I
completely
taught him
doing the whole. It was like a roundhouse kick with his guitar. You know,
Thank you.
and just getting up there and facing and drawing. You know, what I mean, you guys all did. I mean, Danny's always been really good about that.
Yeah. No, Danny's fucking amazing.
I think that's why me and
as far
Danny
as-
balance very well. We have a different. We definitely bring the crowd in differently. Bring the crowd in differently.
The crowd.
The crowd.
Yeah, we have. Look at there now. Now you guys start seeing that level of us. Not
Yeah.
everyone gets to see.
Yeah.
Well, and then also remember there's no Iron band.
yeah.
No,
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, there's no Iron team, and I look for. I mean, I you know, being a musician myself and in the band, you know, I look at the eye contact and it's
Right.
it's like, you know, you're feeding off each other.
Oh,
You can-
totally, yeah.
And Adam is just back there and he's just jamming and you just turn around and you're like, oh yeah, you know, and it's that whole team effort. Not only did you guys perform great musically, but the visual live show was very intense.
We
It was
appreciate
just
it.
as
Thank
intense
you.
as the music, just as heavy because you guys were just
Yeah.
like, rah, you know what I mean?
We definitely try to bring that out, and there's definitely like moments like on stage where like I'll give like a glimpse to like Danny and Adam and sometimes Devin where it's like, yo, are we about to go in right now? Are we about to?
Well,
fuck
we
shit up?
actually
Yeah.
just started this new like kind of like combined
Oh,
thing
me and
live,
Devin,
me and
yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and it's been kind of funny because you know like
kissed him one
beforehand,
time.
you know, like I don't know. For me, it's like really weird because like you know I'm an instrumentalist. Like I'm used to playing an instrument even while singing, so it's like really weird to not have something in my
What do I
hands.
do with my hands?
So like I had to like, you know, for me the biggest thing in this band, at least now, like is like learning showmanship and learning how that works in a band setting. Like
I
because
have to do with my
I don't want to be the center of attention. Like you could see the music video for Bloom. Like the reason why I'm like kind of like back in the distance or dark as far as everyone else is because that's not really something I'm like aiming for. I want the whole thing as itself to be,
it's so different
drawing to people.
It's very different.
And so like it's been pretty cool like in this tour like that, Cody will step up. I mean, he's kind of like doing it, but he'll step up and like me and him do our own little thing like there on stage, And but yeah, no, it's been cool like to see how that has kind of like progressed.
Well, being the front man is a very tough job.
It's interesting. It's
because
really weird.
If most of the time it's the singer's job to like get it pumped up,
Right.
and you're because you have the mic.
Yeah.
You are in control of the audience.
Yeah.
What you say, what you
Right.
do. You know what I mean?
It's a whole other performance away from my own physical performance as a singer.
Right.
So it's like crazy.
But when you, like you said, you leave center stage, he gets up center stage.
Yeah.
Then Dan, you know what I mean? It's just the whole thing. And then
feed
I
off each
watch it.
other,
I don't know if you guys do this intentionally, but then you guys go like this, and then Adam. You know what I mean? You guys, I don't know if you guys
that's totally
know
not
you did
intentional.
that.
There are just moments where we like it's not superly like planned and conscious, but we know that like Adam's gonna like there's a chance that Adam could break his drum set on this part. So we will kind of move away because like Devin knows like, hey, and those are the parts the most that Adam knows, like I'm gonna basically be smacked, my hair is gonna touch the ground from how hard I'm headbanging, and Danny might break the stage because of how hard he's headbanging. So those are the parts that Adam is gonna give it his all, and Devin will just kind of like step back and be like, yo, motherfucker, break that shit.
Yeah.
They're gonna break their necks. Let's literally break this stage right now. And those are the moments where I think we as a band, like, it's like this like subtle, like our peripherals like kind of lock. Like I'll look at Danny and be like, oh shit, and Devin will see me and be like, oh shit, and Adam's like, I don't give a fuck about you. I'm about to break these drums, and we just fucking go to town. And it's those moments, those like, and it may only be for like maybe like 8 bars on a couple different songs where it's like we're really so in tune that we're really in that moment. Like this isn't about the show. This isn't about who's out there. This is about us being on stage.
Right.
Like we've accomplished this. Let's fuck shit up.
It's honestly like a blessing that we aren't like so huge to the point where we have to like be a certain way.
Because we would just break
Because
stuff.
it's like in like a lot of places, especially like some of the bands, like you saw some of the other bands we played with last night, like there's different styles and stuff, like, and like we've gotten into a lot of situations where we played with a lot of bands that are different than us, and we're like, dude, this is cool because we can come in. I say like we're like the shock and awe band because people are like not expecting shit at all to happen like that, and we're just like slam it.
Yeah, no, we're not wearing face paint. We're not like that. We're not like, we don't have our death metal grassroots logo where everything looks like branches.
Well,
the spell INDIVISION.
which you're right, because the diversity of last night's show was really awesome.
It was cool, yeah.
Because there was you guys that were just basically, I'm going to kick in the balls, not just once, but twice.
Right, yeah.
Okay, then you had screams of sirens.
They're fucking awesome.
And
Fucking
they-
love those dudes.
They're so fucking clean cut.
They're like
I'm like looking at this, I'm like going, holy shit, because if you didn't know, obviously I didn't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, I mean, the title kind of gives it away. But if I were just to have no idea and I seen them setting up their stuff and doing the sound check, I'm like going, okay, this is going to be, what was that boy band you really fucking hate? The
Danny's tapping to piss.
Danny Tech.
That would be any boy band.
Beer cans right here.
They have a very theatrical, like cinematic sound. To
But
them.
you're like going, okay, this is going to be like, okay, the
Like
foo,
rock.
the foo stuff, and all of a sudden, just
Come out the gate
wham!
swinging.
And I tell you what,
swinging.
because if you're a bass player, see my bass player Chuck Larry, he plays a 5-string bass.
Yeah.
5-string.
we do too.
See, five-string bass is not an easy instrument to play. You know, I've watched bass players. It's like aesthetic purposes.
Yeah, it's like
it's
it's like, oh, I can play everything on the 4 strings down, and I'm fine, but maybe I'll do something on the fifth.
Yeah.
string.
That kid.
He was killing it.
Holy shit.
Julio
Julio
we
Robles.
call him jalapeno, by the way.
My
Jalapeno, we love you.
he can't be what? Fucking 20 fucking
He's like 22.
21. He's
Yeah,
21.
21.
Okay, there I go. Chuck
far
is
as I know, it's
54, dude, and he's been playing a 5-string bass
He plays without a pick too. I
for
cannot
many
play bass
years.
Without a pick. Yeah.
So my bass player, he can do both, but I love it when he plays without a pick.
I like the sound live, but when we were tracking our record, I had to use a pick because
Oh God.
it's got to have that. There's like this like sharp punch to what we're doing, and a lot of our music has that really high aggressive hit to it. Where if you don't play it without if you play without a pick, it just kind of sounds really round, and we need
Which
that
Cody did
sharpness.
record all the bass on
I
the
did
record.
record all the bass.
It
on a
depends
record.
how hard you're picking your bass too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like a fucking.
Yeah.
I'm using like a fucking like 3.0 like Dunlop.
But no, but I mean,
plastic.
when you pick it, it has a more of a string sound, and when you're using your fingers, it has more of like a more.
It's like earthy.
It's more
yeah,
earthy,
it's like more
we
like
definitely
that.
I
have that
actually don't
aggressiveness
play
to it.
guitar with a pick at all. Like I've
I
never
can play bass.
learned.
That's why I know.
Yeah, no, and for me it was all with a pick. It was very hard, very aggressive. Like we're almost clipping the DI. It was all DIs through Hellraiser.
But
which-
God.
Kind of like the way Lemmy played. He played the bass like a guitar.
it was very fat. Like I have really like thick wrists when I play, so it's
Phallic.
very phallic.
he's a guitar player, so he played the bass like a guitar.
He said
but-
phallic.
I think I hit that shit pretty hard.
Yeah.
when I play.
But my
It's
thing is
very
like
hard.
my thing is like
Yeah.
when you can
I want
achieve
like a clip on it. I want like a click.
I would say specifically for them, like their bass tone is rad.
Oh, it's
Who
the
talking
whole
about?
tone.
And like having that
Green.
bass tone and also
SOS,
being able to
Siren.
play with your
Oh.
fingers is
Yeah.
sick. You
Yeah.
know, like and like my thing is like
Julio?
I've always played bass with just
Julio
fingers.
Jalapeno?
Jalapeno.
I've only played bass with just my fingers. Like I just feel like that
Never-
gives the most
yeah.
natural sound of the bass. But the thing is now, like with the industry and the way it's going,
hardcore,
like
yeah.
in this kind of music, you have to use a pick to a certain degree.
If
you know,
if you ever see
Yeah, I
that
always-
trick,
No,
yeah.
you don't have to.
You don't have
to.
that.
You
With
know
that
what I
type of
mean?
music, I agree. Because,
I will say with the train
like
yeah.
Dillinger Escape Plan, for example.
Fuck yeah, they play in like standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays like way up high, and he plays a pick, but they're so like they've got so many notes to play. It's like
Right.
You'd
Yeah.
have to be fucking super fingers. Like
Yeah, you gotta play like Tosin. Yeah,
he'd
but
like
it's
he'd
a-
have a woman and
Your
fucking
fingers to
an
do
orgasm
that.
in 2 seconds. Like come on. Yeah.
Ladies,
I mean that's.
but-
I mean, that's not true all the time because I only play with pick. I never played bass without a pick.
Danny is a bass
And-
player by
Yeah,
trade.
the bass player.
Everyone who doesn't know.
Yes,
I
yes.
played
he played
I
bass,
played bass the
and
time
7
I
days
played.
away. Yeah.
But even in that band, everyone
Yes.
it was always like hashtag lead bass, and I never used a pick. I mean, I never used my fingers, always pick, and I moved around the whole time like this with a pick.
Well,
you know?
like my bass player for Day Zero, he plays with a pick, and I can't stand it. He plays almost chords like a fucking guitar player, which I can't stand. But that's just the pick sound. But there's a certain point where it's good and it's bad. But like my bass player for the Aussie trivia to do, it's like he's nothing but fingers.
Right.
And
he kicks ass.
oh
Yeah.
god, and
I've seen finger players where
Oh
it is
my God.
incredible, but I think for our music, like when you see like the waveform, like where a finger pick has this like more round sound at the beginning.
no, there's a
pick
time
is,
and a place for it. Absolutely,
It's very
Yeah.
straight. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna edit with that because when our music hits, it's incredibly punchy. And I think for finger picking, like also like I'm not a great finger pick bassist. Like I can play bass with a pick very well. I cannot play bass with my fingers very well.
Well, I mean, like what I was saying was like
Yeah.
the tone. When you dial in that tone, that's what determines what's going to be best for
Right.
that.
Yeah. And
So
it turns
so
out to pick.
I'm going down this path, okay, right now. So I went to the base. So Chuck was really impressed with because I'm like going, holy shit! I'm like, Chuck, you see this fucking kid? You know what I mean? and then you go to Firing All Cylinders, which you know that's their whole thing,
Yeah.
Ray's
right?
a bass player.
And and awesome, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Dude,
just really, and they have a new
fuck, yeah.
drummer, which I just
New
met.
drummer and new guitar player.
And guitar player, yeah. And it just, but it's nice because the night was heavy,
What's
but
going
there
on?
was different types of heavy, you know, which is awesome. And it
Right.
just, I love that kind of shit, you know. Now,
yeah.
going back to, see, now I just hit a fucking brick wall, dude.
I was gonna say also
God
that
damn it.
in that sense of like different bands playing, like I think that's one thing that might be missing from the music scene in general, is that people want to try so hard to have these shows that are matching all these different genres. And you know, for us, like we've played with like, you know, some bands, like we played this band from Massachusetts called Carnivora, and they're like totally different from us. Like,
amazing. Love Carnivora.
but they're fucking amazing. Like they're awesome. You know, like they're like almost like they're just like really metal and not always screaming all the time. They actually have a chick like lead vocalist, and she rules. She is a monster. She makes me look like a pussy.
Oh, yeah,
She's listening to you now. She's probably gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, she's gonna fucking like, she's like, motherfucker, I didn't fucking chick. I'll curb stomp you.
No. She's awesome. She's awesome. But like, like our thing is like when we're playing shows, we'll be like, oh wait, like who are we playing with? Like we want to listen to their music, and like sometimes it's just totally different.
Play with,
But like, you know, it's actually, it ends up being like super cool for the crowd too. Like to be able to see like all these different genres of metal coming together and playing, and like I love that. You know, I totally love.
We'll actually see them in March.
Yeah, actually, two of their guitarists are here now for NAMM.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Cody
Oh,
also.
I got my question. Okay,
Oh, here we
so
go.
now, why don't you have a bass player on stage with you? Now,
Space.
Save the drama for your mama.
Okay.
It's.
I'm not saying because I'm not going to say it's going to add or it's going to take away from your
No, yeah,
music.
no.
Because,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I
I'll
mean?
take this one, yeah.
Because because me and Vijay were standing there and we're watching, and I'm like going, wow, they don't have a bass player. And then,
Chuck was
but
getting
what
pissed.
was what
That's
what
funny.
did I say, Vijay? I said, what made up for the bass player?
Let me think.
You weren't even drinking. You had to fucking think, really?
You had a drunk from Venice that day.
I said, God damn it, man! The drummer
Yeah.
is filling that fucking void. I mean,
No, he does.
Because
So-
I mean, basically, you know, me as a drummer, I love me and the bass player being in a pocket.
in one, yeah.
Okay, that's the bottom end. That's the foundation. Everything's built on top of that.
Yep.
But he did. I was like, well, they don't even need a bass player.
We don't, yeah.
I mean, we have bass
we take
tracks.
And even my bass player said the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like our actual like live show is literally like our click track and everything is a session.
Yeah.
So we don't stop on the click. The click
don't.
is always going
with all tempo changes.
So like, Adam is. He won't say this for himself, but he's a fucking amazing drummer. Especially like you said earlier with like ghost notes and stuff like that. Like the way that he rides the snare really
just
fills
symbols,
out our music
There'll be,
so
like, ghost
much.
notes on like Chinas and stuff like
And
that.
like
too.
him
It's
being
nice.
he will always be on time, like no matter what. So it's like that with not having a bass player and backtracking bass has been a huge thing for us. Like it just sounds so great with him, like doing that. Like he's
Yeah, and a big reason for not using. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm going to tell you right now. There's a saying: the band is only as good as the drummer.
especially in metal and punk music.
Well,
if
especially
you have a
since
shit drummer.
especially since you're in a radio station with three drummers.
No, yeah, and like Adam's like definitely Adam being a drummer, like influencing everything. Like it totally makes sense. And the bass tracks, I write all of the bass off of the drums. Like my first thought isn't what the guitars are playing; it's what the drums are doing with the kick.
Yeah, that's
Right.
So all of the bass is going off of what the guitar is, like almost like the opposite if the kick is matching that. So it's mainly off of what the kick does. And when we were talking about doing live, it was like I'd rather have a second guitarist because I want to have that live feel. I want to have that like that connection to somebody else on stage. Like
Right.
I look at Danny and I'm like, oh, we're playing like close to the same thing. The bass track is just like cool. This is just like
There's the low end, you know.
yeah, it's just low end. Like just,
But also-
just run it through. As long as Adam's playing to that click, playing to that song that we wrote, the bass is gonna match him, and me and Danny
Right.
can like feed off of each other, and that was the main
Yeah.
purpose.
Well, and what Adam did really, really well was not only did he perform the bass part on the drums, but he was also playing with the guitar too,
Right.
which
He does.
was
He
the
very
very
heavily matches
impressive
it.
thing
It's
to
very
me.
musical, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of influence from like ABR and like Chariot. Chariot has a lot of things that like just like simple things like hi-hat clenches or like cymbal chokes that really match what the guitars are doing musically.
Right.
He'll try and match that with his drums to say, hey, like you're doing a run on your guitar, you're doing this very specific stop or a slide. He wants to match that on his drums because all of the music sounds like one piece. It sounds like one thing, this one impact that's going to hit you in the fucking chest and make you say, God fucking damn. And then you have the vocals on top of that say, shit, that was tough.
Well, Chris Adler is the same type of drummer.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You know,
Well,
if you diss the bass player out of Lamb of God,
Yeah.
you really.
He just fell.
I just hit my thing.
He just went,
I'm like looking at you all
he just went, wham,
I'm like, oh, where'd you go, Cody?
Yeah, even shorter than I already was.
Chairs are so hard.
Dude, chairs are fucking
Chairs are
hard, man.
difficult.
I hit him with my leg. I didn't hit him with my hand.
Oh, shit.
But if you diss the bass player out of Lamb of God, you really wouldn't miss him.
Right.
You sure where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, too, is also, like, I think the difference in that is, like, being a bass player, because you're always going to look for it. You know what I mean?
If you don't have it, you don't look for it.
And, I mean, for us, like, it's just not, it's
Come
not,
on, dude.
it's not conducive to everything that we've been doing. Like, I think, actually, like, kind of a spoiler, though, is that we might actually have some songs coming up that
Have a
will
bass player,
have a
yeah.
bass player, and we might have Danny switch out from guitar to play bass.
On a couple
You
songs.
do some
Yeah.
lead bass work.
Lead
Yeah.
bass work. But it's one of those things like your first thought isn't to cut a bassist, it's to cut a guitarist. And like from the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna cut a bassist.
So who does the bass live, though?
So I pre-record it. So our record,
It's from the album.
yeah. So
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same bass
So you
I
just have a
record in the
track
album,
playing.
and I send
Right.
it back to the house. So the
Gotcha.
house like, hey, can I get bass? I'm like, cool, yeah. Here's our bass track. It's the same. It's a WAV file. It's perfectly clean. It's in Complex Pro. It's
Yeah.
completely uncompressed. It's
I did
amazing.
the same thing when I
Yeah.
was with our 11. I would start and stop every track.
Right.
And
And
the Stevie Band?
no, hour 11. No, that's day 0.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
we don't start and
They
stop.
don't play
It's
to
just
a
straight
quick
through.
track. No, but yeah, I get where you're coming from, because it's having that extra instrument that you need.
Yeah.
And you don't have it
to have
live.
it.
You have to program it.
And,
Yeah, it's
and
there.
live, it's
Live it
a
takes
live
away.
played. It's a live played bass just by me to the click, the same one we
Yeah.
use on the album. So as long as me and Danny and Adam are on the click, we're on to it. Like if one of us gets fucked up, then you're fucked up from the bass. But as long as we're playing onto that, that
Yeah.
bass is going to be correct.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
mean,
the click track has
Plus,
to be there.
if we had another member, it would just take away that space that me and him can't spin around and fuck.
Yeah,
play
we
guitars.
spin
Yeah, I mean,
a lot,
Especially on
more
a
space
small
now.
stage.
Dude,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
Portland was
Yeah,
like the
it's
smallest
we hit
stage
each other,
I've ever
yeah.
played on.
Yeah, we hit our heads.
I had to be on the floor with the crowd screaming
No,
because
you got to be on the floor.
I got to be
got
on
to
the
be on the
floor.
floor.
Yeah.
Well, that
You
was the
had
same
the
place as this
opportunity.
place in Lakewood. It was like
Yeah.
the drums took up most of the stage, and then
Yep.
those guys barely had room on the thing.
Yeah. And
Well,
we,
the thing is too is that Adam, the way he plays full
Yeah, his arms
extension.
are extended.
So like
Yeah,
the
he's got a full
crash
stage.
or like the China cymbal has to be full length from his arms. So it's like
It's in the
he's
inside. His-
taking up a
his-
lot of space.
That's
his
me, too.
16 is fully on the other side. So he's got
That's
a
me.
16 and a full China. So he's
Mine are-
fully
I'm the same way.
And then this motherfucker's like, I got some big fucking arms. Fuck your stage. So the only thing on stage is our backline from screams and our one rack box. So we're not
Right.
taking up that much space. So we have a little bit of space for me and Danny to spin, which Danny didn't have room to spin. I'm small, so I have room to spin.
Yeah, I
That's
have
it.
a fucking huge ass.
He'll bump your ass right off
I have a
stage.
huge
Fuck you, try, motherfucker. I got you.
For that stage, we had a huge ass fucking sub on my side.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even do my right side spin because I would hit something. And then when I actually did try to do a spin, when I spin, he spin, and we hit our headstocks together.
We did twice.
Yeah,
Twice. Cody did
2
it
times.
twice.
2 times.
Now you know.
Okay, all right. Are we taking all your Danny attack questions now?
Oh no, actually, you know what? It's kind of funny. Well, see, maybe the.
This is a Danny attack show. It's the rest of the time is just Danny attack.
Maybe she should be out there for those guys, but the cleaning lady. As soon as I was walking out of the bathroom, she's like, "Oh, buenas noches."
Yeah.
But she was walking to the men's restroom, so they're gonna walk in.
No, they just.
She's gonna be cleaning.
She must have just cleaned it because it smelled like it was just.
Oh, okay.
bleached.
Because she was right outside the door when I
probably just
walked
finishing
out.
She's
I'm
just surprised.
thinking that she just had.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, so when 2 dudes go to the restroom together,
Yeah. Oh boy. Don't want another. Hey, are you guys gonna Are you guys leaving after this, or are you guys sticking around for NAMM?
No. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't do NAMM. We have we've had a few offers from the sponsors for badges.
Yeah.
But we have other shows on the way back.
Okay.
That we can't stay around for NAMM. I wish we could.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bunch of people I want to see, but
Because that's this coming weekend.
Yeah. I'm the only thing I'll be
on Thursday. Starts on Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be at the Rock and Roll Industries magazine booth on Friday. I'll be handing out Day Zero CDs and
Yeah, that's where
whatever.
7 days away did our whole signing. And stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm doing that on Friday, and then Saturday we're playing at the Slide Bar.
Nice.
Mr. Crowley is at 8:00, and then Saturday also at 2:00. I think 2 or 3. We're doing a big photo shoot for Soul Tone Symbols.
Oh, nice.
So, other than that, I didn't know if you guys are going to be around or if you guys are doing anything there.
No, we have shows we have to get back to.
Yeah.
We're on the way.
It's a fucking drive.
Yeah, we leave tomorrow. Our next show was tomorrow, Tuesday? Yeah. So our next show isn't until Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Which is in Texas.
Nice.
And then so we'll do that, and then we have other shows on the way back.
Cool.
But yeah, it would have been dope. I think we're gonna try and get to Summer NAMM because some of our sponsors are there as well. So and I've never been to Summer NAMM. I've been to normal NAMM here.
And where's that at?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah, no, I haven't been there either.
Nashville.
Oh no, yeah.
Nashville.
Right, Nashville.
Yep.
So we're gonna try and get to that. That's not as far as California from us,
Yeah.
but I've been to 5 NAMMs already with sponsors and stuff.
Oh well, Tennessee, you can get there quicker than we can get to Northern California.
Yeah,
It's like
so
it's like
fucking
8.5 hours from us in
Yeah, so we
Nashville.
can-
Okay, well, Northern California is about a 10-hour, 11-hour drive.
So you're like,
We know. We drove all the way up I-5.
Oh, wait.
I should say ride because I ride a motorcycle. It's
we did California to Portland in a night. Like we drove through, we did our show, we drove through the night.
where did you guys play
Oregon.
up north?
Hawthorne
Up
Lounge?
north, no. In Sacramento, we played on the Y,
Yep.
and then in Portland, we played
On the
Hawthorne
wall.
Lounge.
Okay, Sacramento, we always go up there and we play this place that's Swabbies on the River. Have you
There's
ever?
a big
great.
place.
Oh,
That place is fucking a big ass party.
Wow, we played this.
This
Oh boy.
on the
No,
Y.
we're not going to call one out on there.
No,
No, it was great,
close.
but
There was some
it ended
drama.
up being a great show, a cool show, to play. And I mean, this is my first time booking full tours. Like I booked shows for all my bands that I'm in. I'm usually the one that does all that shit. But this time we're like, okay, we're gonna do a tour. Where do we want to tour at? I was like, well, I have the most connections on the West Coast, just because that's where I'm from. I can probably set that up. And so, okay, cool. Let's do our first full tour on the West Coast. Booked it. Okay, let's do another tour. All right, well, now we have an East Coast tour. So I'm booking that. Now, we have, I mean, it's okay to announce it because we're announcing this month anyways.
yeah, fine.
So in April, May, we have one of our friends or our friends bands that we did run with out in Florida. They're coming down and we're touring with them April, May. And that's a whole South regional tour from the East Coast to the West Coast.
They're from UK.
Yeah, they're from the UK. Scream Blue Murder. It's they're releasing an album for that tour, and
On
that's on
Stay
Stasic
Sick,
Records, which is I don't know who Attila is, but Franz from Attila, it's his record label. So they're all pushing that, and so now I have 3 tours that I'm booking. When I've never booked a tour before in my life,
He's been
I've
fucking
booked
crushing it,
shows,
though, yeah.
and so now now I'm booking tours. That's all I'm doing. Just
Yeah, I
booking.
mean we're probably gonna add that to the agency as a part of
Yeah, we I'll be
after that 3rd tour gets done, then I can probably have enough contacts to do it.
for other
That's
people.
just what I do. you know?
Yeah, basically we'll stop at like a Starbucks and I'm sitting there working for like my 5 to 6 clients I have on retainer that I'm actively working for. And I'm like, oh Danny, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm fucking booking our tour. And it's like every fucking time.
Sweet,
That's what he's doing.
just guys,
yeah.
$300 on this tour or whatever it is,
Yeah.
plus food, and then that's
It's
it.
cool to
just-
see.
Yeah, it's just we're always working. So like if
to get you fed gas to the next.
yeah,
That's what's most
and
important.
and
Pay the
the hustle, it's a
bills.
hustle because I
Right.
mean we're our band's been around for 6 months,
Dude,
That's it.
I
And we
fucking
have all
work-
these tours booked,
Yeah.
but like they
We
want to
wanna
know
be,
what
like,
you're bringing to the
Instagram
table. So it's like a
presence,
hustle
yeah.
where I have to hustle our name and what we do to try and get us money in another state that no one's even fucking heard of us.
Right.
Right.
I gotta
Right.
sell us to these venues for them to give us money.
And they're looking at us like, oh, you only have this many Instagram followers. You only
Well,
have
the
this
thing for
many
us-
on.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a hurdle to get through.
Yeah.
And
Which is bullshit to some people. Because if you look at what we're doing, like you look at like what we've put out to the world, it's bigger than what some bands have put out, especially like a lot of bands who have like back in the day when you just bought your followers, you bought your content to have those numbers to show to other people, and it's like, hey, like in less than 6 months, like we have 4 tours, we've put out an album, we put out a music video, we put out all of our own content, flyers,
in less than 6
design,
months.
everything, less than 6 months.
Less than 6 months.
So for some bands, that's like a hard hurdle to come over because that would cost.
And that's also a part of our thing too, is also to
ourselves, yeah.
share that experience with other people.
Yeah, we
to
will.
show
Yeah,
that this is what's
It also shows that when you are able to submit that to somebody, like you want to book yourself at this venue. Look,
We have
obviously we've got a lot of heart, you know, and because those kind of things have not really changed from back in the day till now.
Exactly.
Anyways, you're still doing the same thing. It's just like, okay, look, just put us right inside there on that night, and I'm telling you, it's going to fit right in. You guys are going to be happy. People are going to be buying fucking drinks and tipping the waiters, you know, and the waitresses. You know, we're going to make it happen. We're going to bring, you know, the music.
Right.
And it's not a music is not an easy thing. I think I know a lot of actors. And I'm telling you, it's better. It's a lot easier for an actor to get a paying gig than it is for a band to get a paying gig.
I've done commercials and shit in the past. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I get emails all the time about casting calls and stuff like that. I can go and
Black House
fake casting agent.
Devin's taking the 6 interest for the game.
No, but I've done a few commercials like just for like banks and stuff in Florida, and just like it that's the thing. It's like it's not that difficult compared to like music.
Well,
once you get connected with an agency.
Well, also, and then you have the 2 things, which is like acting. Okay, so you're going to submit yourself doing something acting wise,
right?
You know? Okay, you're going to give them different expressions. Okay, I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling
melancholy.
I'm feeling happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're going through these expressions. But now the thing is, when you record something,
it's there.
A shit band. I'm not kidding you. A shit band can make a recording.
Yep, and
it sounds fucking awesome. And then when they play live, they sound like shit, like System of a Dumb.
Come on. He's such a hater on them.
I grew up loving, like, dude, Toxicity.
Come on.
That whole fucking record. Like, even their first album, I was so
How many
into
times did you see them live, Cody?
He's not a very diverse guy.
Then you know what? You need to shut the fuck up.
But live, they have all the fucking feels. So as a recorded artist, for someone who lived with me through my entire, like, probably from grade school up until like late high school, they stuck with me. They did, regardless of how I've perceived them live on videos. They stuck with me.
Well, the thing is now,
and they
though,
screw out pizza.
I'll say this though. I'll say this though. Now, as far as the music industry goes, like, and like we're always trying to get people to like, like follow us on Instagram or blah blah.
At INDIVISION FL.
And and I literally every night that's something that I'm putting out there to people, like, this is where you can follow us. That's not something that people grab onto anymore. It was at some point. So like, I just think that it's actually pretty wild how the music industry has changed in the last even like 5 years.
It has changed a lot.
Just the way that you put yourself out there. Like, I mean, even social media, like, everyone's thinking, oh, this is the hot new thing. Dude, once they're saying it's the hot new thing, it was over.
Because they want money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was over.
When it was free, it was cool. When they started charging you money to blast your shit,
right.
It took
and
a shit.
it's like a big problem now with like labels when labels go to look at a band and they see that this band has like X amount of followers, but that, let's say you have 10,000 followers, but everything you post has maybe 50 to 100 likes. A label looks at that and says, hey, they're like, oh, you have like a 0.01% engagement. That's really low.
Yeah.
That's like less than 1%. Less than 1%.
And that's something they never looked at before.
No,
they look at it now.
It gives them
it's so easy. So
negative thing to look at.
Yeah, but if you
which
look at,
is
like, let's say
shitty.
somebody like us who we have, like, we only have 250 followers, right?
Yeah.
But we post something and they get like 40 to 50 likes.
Every person that follows us is someone who's probably met us in person.
So we
period.
have. So
we're
when you're an
happy with that,
influencer,
you know?
when you're an influencer,
we
has
go around and take those ones that.
Well, remember, a following is like a snowball effect.
It is.
Right.
It definitely is.
You have to accumulate them as the. Cheers, VJJ.
Cheers for JJ.
Fuck you, JJ. Love you.
But I want to hold that thought. We're going to continue on with this conversation. But we are.
Gash.
They call you a gash?
He did, huh? We are going to just close out on the kaoticradio.us. Now, literally, the Zig Zone is from 7 to 9. If you guys feel like still going on, we can still be live on YouTube and live on Facebook.
chilling.
Let's do it, yeah.
Then there you go.
Yeah.
So we just have to make sure that we close it on the kaoticradio.us so we can still continue on with the other two.
Okay, so
we're
So
diversified.
tell the audience to go.
But
where?
we want the audience, if you are on kaoticradio.us, just go on to YouTube. Or go on to, you can go on to Facebook, go on to Zig Ray, and mine is open. You can click right on it, and it will go right in it. But I think you shared it, too.
No, I shared it, so.
Okay, so you can go on Danny's also.
Danny's
Yeah.
.com.
And so
DanielTag.com.
So you,
Hashtag.com.
but as far as the .us, the category.us, yeah, we're gonna sign off on that one,
Hey, and go Rams in the fucking Super Bowl, goddammit.
right?
Yes.
I'm not a Rams fan, but a lot of
the
my family
Patriots.
is.
Fuck the Patriots.
Fuck the Patriots. I'm going.
I said that during sound check yesterday.
I'm
That
going
fucking
Rams.
game, dude. Chiefs should have been in it.
Rams all the way.
Are we surprised?
But those of you that are on kaoticradio.us and you guys are ready to sign off, maybe you might want to go into sleep right now. That's okay. Thanks for tuning in. I just loved it. Me, Scott, and Vijay, really appreciate that you guys are listening in. But if you are going to be brave and you want the fucking endurance and you want to stick around with us and INDIVISION to after party, get on fucking YouTube and Facebook. We'll see you guys on kaoticradio. See ya.
Love you guys. We'll see the rest of you fuckers at NAM. Who's going?
We're doing another song or no?
Sure.
And there we go. It was that easy. Okay, it was that easy. But you're gonna have to, because he only has Bloom, so you're gonna have to hook your.
I got one.
Can you do me a favor?
I got YouTube.
Can you hook? Oh, you do.
That I can search.
it should be like.
Well, no, all of us should be on.
Because I thought you had it on your phone.
We have all of them.
What do you want to
You can plug in the
I
auxiliary.
was going to say the auxiliary.
There's a cord right there. You can plug your phone into it.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, so death.
Here it is. I'm sorry. It was right. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
Slow down, Turbo.
Is that song?
Oh shit, that's
Here's the auxiliary cord.
You want to do Dust?
Hold on, I
Let's do
got
dust.
Did she ever chime in?
Dust?
I broke the seal, so
I didn't see because I was dying to hit the button.
Oh,
Wait,
it's
should we wait
working
for
now.
Dave?
Well,
to
see,
get back?
Tiff is usually one of the first ones, and
Yeah.
I don't
Well, there
see.
you go. As long as
Is
it in yet?
goddamn right. Put it somewhere, or I'll bring it every week. Whatever.
Tiff, where are you at? The mail lady is not here. Oh, there she is, right there. I didn't see her. I don't have my glasses, man. Someone took my fucking glasses. But do it again. There we go. We're sorry. I'm sorry, Tiff. I didn't see it because someone took my fucking glasses.
Fuck your glasses.
Someone is.
How do you lose those though?
I
Don't you
did.
wear
I
them at every
don't.
show?
No, I don't lose them. They're
He
sitting
lost sight
right
of 'em.
here.
That's why you don't leave them here.
Hey,
leave
I
them
bet
right
it was the person
here.
that put that fucking drape thing.
I agree.
Hey, fuck that guy. Unless he's really cool. And like
Well,
the band,
it was
that's
interesting
awesome.
because I saw those and I was like, wait, are those drapes or are those like sound like proofing things? 'Cause
No,
they look kind of like the
they
sound.
were,
they're not.
They were like normal fucking paper. It just
I don't
looked
know
like
what they were
soundproofing.
doing.
Yeah.
We don't know.
All I know is they owe you a new fucking banner back.
Right? Hey, Bernard, if you're listening to the show tonight, dude, let us know what that fucking black fucking drape thing that was over the Chaotic
Some
radio
accordion
sign. I
stutter
just
ass
want to
shit.
say.
I think we will be doing dust. Yeah.
We're doing Dust. Okay,
Yeah,
so Dust
is a
it's a Chariot inspired song.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
you're
Yeah, we have.
talking about a song. I think you're like in a fucking like.
No, guys.
I'm way beyond that, dude.
That was 4 hours ago. I'm
No,
just joking.
Dust has like this. It has this like inspiration to old hardcore and old Chariot to it. That when probably over the next like couple months we'll be releasing some kind of like almost like experimental EP of us all as like adults growing up with this type of music, like reimagining it now. Like it has like a little bit of a breakdown. It has this like cinematic to it. So we'll be
I'm stopping it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, that was
we'll be taking it and probably running
just
with it
crazy.
on like a 3-song EP. That's something that we can just get down to live, and that's the way we like to do stuff. Is like, hey, like this riff is really fun to play. Like, Danny, do you like playing this riff live? Can you bang your head and make a little snail trail?
Plus,
to
we
the
have
song?
plus the next tour we have. Like we're home for a month, and we have another tour on the East Coast with Manifestation. And you've played the music on here. We've been here doing the interview, so we wanna do like, because there's so like such a fucking good band and such like humble people that we want to do like an ode to them.
Hey, Cody,
So we're trying to mix it to that.
hang on a second, because I'm going to hold your hand in the bathroom because I really got to go too.
Dick wrong.
So just hang on a second.
He wants to hold your cock.
Yeah. Or vice versa.
Oh, you've never had a better cocktail.
No, I'm just saying, because I don't have to wait because my eyes are turning fucking yellow right now, and like I really got to fucking go.
Right now?
You want to get
Let me tell you one thing that I fucking love. See, I'm in Fontana. I'm in Southridge, and I'm telling you, there's two types of fucking music that are and these they go around and they have these. I have a very nice car stereo system.
Okay.
Okay, you know my buddy Rusty fucking hooked my shit up.
Bearded clam.
And so, you go up to a fucking stoplight or a stop sign, and these fucking guys it's either like,
Kentucky?
you know, or it's fucking like, or yeah.
Does our shit bang in your system?
No. Check this out. And well, we're gonna, because I'm gonna fuck people up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I do is when that shit fuck gets next to me, I fucking roll my windows down, dude, and I fucking pump up shit like this,
Fuck
and
yeah,
all of a
man.
sudden I go.
I got the same thing in my
That's
van.
right, motherfucker.
right,
This
yeah.
is you boom that shit.
me just say-
I'm fucking
I
stepping. I'm
bait
kicking you in the
scoops and
nuts,
everything, yeah.
not once, but
Twice.
Times.
But let me just say this also, just like vinyl is such a commodity as far as like getting that, you know, a little bit of the scratch, a little bit of the pop.
I definitely pop it on
Like
this album.
when we were listening to a
yeah.
record through the CD, as far as wave files are on that thing, it sounds so much
Yeah,
better
so
than the
trust me,
degradation that Spotify
We
and
listen
fucking
to every
YouTube
platform
gives
possible.
you. So like,
Digitally.
Yeah.
We listened to everything, and then we popped that CD in when we first got it from the.
Yeah, the hertz are
press.
totally
it
different.
hits
Yeah.
really hard.
it's
Yeah,
way better.
I definitely try to hit, like, I know what certain, like the average, so like Chevrolet, Dodge, Hyundai, and Honda, what their stereo systems hit at.
Like their frequency ranges.
It's like 50 to 59 hertz. So I make sure our bass hits it around like a 55 with like a 2 decibel wave range of 55 to 50 hertz. So everything will hit semi-hard to extremely as fuck hard.
Right.
In about 80% of the car manufacturers in the U.S.
right, but not the muddy.
No,
No, that's it.
Nothing
Drives me
muddy,
fucking.
not the
nothing
trouble.
muddy.
So for me, it's like this. First of all, why the fuck are you putting that system in your car
Well, no,
without
no.
deadening the sound a
Well,
little bit?
If you have
like,
a 15, the thing is, if you have a 15 and you listen to very, very, very intense, I will say Puerto Rican styled music where the bass hits around the 42 hertz.
yeah, 42 hertz.
I don't know.
It will
I don't know Puerto
definitely
Rican
crush
music.
on a 15 subsystem.
We're in Florida.
Because I
so-
grew up with that. So like them, a lot of the music, because at the time the like atmospheric pressure, it sits around like about.
Okay,
Hold your barometer when you're listening to fucking music.
as much as you like to party, like you measures.
I try about everybody.
Everything's calculated. Aren't you? We have,
Yeah, motherfucker.
we want to party
today.
I'm gonna stop talking.
to things like that. Like it's just all nerd shit. Like we sit around like we're talking about the how we
Yeah.
move
Well,
around
no,
and
the
shit,
thing
like-
that's great.
No,
Well, I was gonna say.
No,
things
talk
that we
about
do,
it. Talk
like,
about it.
The things that we do like earlier, like maybe an hour ago, we were talking about how we move around and we move space, we leave space for Adam to be seen, things like that. Like we have a spreadsheet. That
we
has
do.
Where
It's
we
true.
need to be at certain spots.
We have to spin at beat 48.
Yeah, like it's not every part of the song, but we have spots that we know we need to hit.
Yeah.
We have to hit those parts.
Well, that's
on
like
the song.
choreography. Yeah, it's the same thing I have to do
We
with.
spend that.
Same thing we have to do with.
I lost my
Right.
shit
Doing
when
that.
he was like, I got a text and it was something like, "Oh, dude, we gotta like work on some choreography today." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, when the actual
the secret
fuck
life of
have I
Scott.
ever dealt with that? But like at the same time, like
he was like, my body's deteriorating.
The problem is,
I'm a wasteland, my
the
body
problem
is
is
a
they don't
wasteland.
run into each other.
yeah. But at the same time, like,
It's the only thing.
no, like I understood that and I was like, dude, I'm gonna totally accept this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not something that I've ever done before. You know, like so it was like,
Me either, but
why am I going to hate on it because I've never done it? You know,
it's
It's definitely
it's worked out. a lot.
it's definitely parts where like we will like either we go extremely hard on a part and Devin gets to take a step back and say, hey, I'm going to let the music.
Well, the thing
speak
is
for
like
itself,
the way
or
they
the
write
opposite.
music doesn't give me a fucking break on vocals. So
Fuck you then.
no. But like, so it's like I have to plan that time out.
No,
Like,
you just work
specifically.
it into a show, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what we have to do. Same thing with Crowley, especially with the way that Sabbath did their shit and all that. So
Right.
we have to
Yeah.
do certain things and certain songs to where it's like this creepy shit or whatever. Or he changed wardrobe or whatever. And it's the same sort of thing. So yeah,
Right.
definitely the show is a major importance in live music.
Okay, so at that point, so we got it all keyed up. Yeah, JJ, because my eyes are turning yellow, dude. I can't sit here for another
As far as
because I'm
music-
actually.
Oh,
yeah,
come on,
so I've
man.
already admitted that I shit my pants. I'm not ready to piss my pants.
So JJ,
I got it up right here.
We're just gonna have to bring him some Depends
I've
next
got
time.
this track set up on my phone. Is that
So
cool?
go, not me.
I think
I got a track set up on my phone.
Yeah.
You want to just play that track?
Yeah, let's do it.
is it already set in? You already got the
I
aux
already got
up?
ready to go.
Yeah, go for it.
You good? All
Let's-
right,
let's
this song
make
is
sure
called
you-
Dust, and honestly, this was the last song we actually wrote on the record.
In less than
And we wrote it in the studio
hours.
it wasn't even
during
on the record.
It
during
was
recording.
100%.
We wrote it during recording.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Dust.
Piss your pants.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
I'm
cool.
stopping this shit. All
Yeah,
right.
that was
let us-
good.
Yeah, no, a lot of. I'm feeling a lot of Chariot, little Meshuggah, little
Yeah.
Dillinger Escape Plan.
Fuck, dude, yes. Come on. I love Dillinger.
The next,
Yeah, I love the Dillinger influence.
the next EP
But
we're
that
going to be doing
sounds-
is going to be like that. It's going to be that.
Don't cut off the J.
I'd say a little bit of Whitechapel too. Y'all got some good heavy influence in there.
Yeah, no,
Thanks,
no,
man.
that's cool. No, but I could tell totally the Chariot thing. Yeah, that's definitely there. That's a definite influence there. I could totally tell.
Definitely trying to have fun and
which
party
cool.
on that thing.
Who?
So we're definitely going to try and party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like our kind of plans, I don't think we've actually like released this yet, but I think we're gonna record like a little EP that's just strictly that kind of music.
In between the two tours, that this tour and the next tour, so we have a month to do.
So everything on that is in here, on here?
Yeah,
Nice.
That's on. Yeah, that's
Cool.
Dust. So it's right before Abyss. So it's kind of like that breaking point in your mind where you're thinking like, what the fuck am I doing? Because the end is actually like the vocals go in 3 different ranges, and it says like, I give up, I won't give up, I give up.
Yeah.
And that's the vocal pattern going through that. So it's talking about like that inner turmoil in yourself that's like saying like, I won't give up, and then that voice from fucking Satan saying like, I give up, and then you actually giving up, but like not like, you know, and not, I don't know, not actually giving up, but like, you know, it's just like,
That's kind of the Christian in you. I could tell.
yeah, that's me.
I mean, when I first saw Chariot,
Christian in you.
when I first no, but when I first saw Chariot play, it was at it was a thing for like a Christian whole thing with a bunch of Christian bands.
Yeah.
And POD was headlining it.
Yep.
And Head from Korn, he had his side
Fucking love
project,
Head, dude.
And
Fucking Cody's calling me from the bathroom.
hey, let me out.
But JJ, I'm unplugging this.
You might be stuck outside.
No, but
Yeah, go for it.
all those bands are really cool, and it just I got that just from that concert. I downloaded a shitload of their albums and liked every one of them. I was like, those guys are really cool. They have a unique sound, and I liked Dillinger Escape Plan at the time, and Meshuggah and all that, and it kind of had that same vibe.
Yeah,
but
dude, I appreciate that.
no, it's kind of cool.
Well, that whole like like Christian kind of rock thing. Remember Stryper?
Dude, Striper, man.
No, Oz Fox is a buddy of mine. He just saw him out in Vegas.
What's the code? He forgot the code.
I can't see it on
Okay.
the air.
Let's say it on the air.
Type it.
Have y'all ever heard Impending Doom?
Oh yeah, dude. Impending Doom fucking
That's gotta be my
rules, dude.
favorite Christian rock of all time.
Yeah.
Christian death metal, because the Bible gives you
Christian
plenty
death
of material to write death metal.
And then
Oh,
put
that's
the
like
stars
Demon
on
Hunter.
it.
Demon
No,
Hunter's
dude,
good too.
dude, honestly, like Demon Hunter is. We were actually talking about that earlier. We're like, maybe because like I have a friend.
They just came out of a new one.
Well, I have a friend from Jacksonville. He's like, dude, I got your guys' like album on my leg day playlist.
Yeah.
Like just because it just fucking kicks that
Our
hard,
album's
you
good
know.
for leg day.
And I'm like, hell yeah. But like also like Demon Hunter has been such an influential band, like with like the military.
They got a really good
and it's so
sound.
good, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, this is the thing for me. Like, as far as like, if you're ever trying to like, I don't know, like for us, I'm not trying to like push any sort of religious vibe,
No,
or
that's
anything
not the
like
thing.
that. And that's the thing. Like, that's what makes those bands is they don't push that. They push reality.
Yeah.
And like Demon Hunter, like they fucking just kill it, Like they're really just about the real inner turmoil of humans, and that's really like where they like progress in that way,
Well, that's-
and also their sound is fucking sick.
Even old bands like King's X.
Oh yeah, King's X.
I know Doug Pinnick, and he's a fucking Christian guy, and he
That guy
doesn't
can sing, man.
he
He's
can
got,
sing
like,
his ass
such a
off,
voice.
but it's like they don't like.
Right, I agree.
It's
with
not
you.
all about like Christianity. They just sing about more. They don't like you. They don't like curse and do all that stuff. But he'll curse live and do
Right.
his thing live. But
Yeah.
they put on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I saw King's X was at M15, and
Oh, I played there.
the drummer had a heart attack like 2 months before.
Hey, but JJ,
and went on
do
stage
me a favor,
and played.
man, and go let
And that guy's like in
Cody in. He's
his late 50s.
He's stuck.
Cody's an idiot.
How is he fucking stuck? Open the
I
goddamn door.
don't know. We did.
His hair got stuck in the toilet and started flushing down.
He was outside smoking. He
See,
went outside.
that's why she's here. The DD, right?
Drunk driver.
Yeah.
Go help Cody.
She's like,
what?
What I do? What do I have to do?
She's not tuning in. No, he's okay. The JJ went down to go let him in. He can't get back in the building.
Yeah, but that song's like a tribute to what we want to do for the next tour, because the next tour is a little bit heavier, more.
Well,
hardcore
it's more original hardcore. That's one thing I love. I love about Manifestation is like they are OG hardcore.
Yeah.
Like and like for us, like we're kind of more in the metalcore realm to a certain degree, like modern, you know. But like I would love. I mean, I will love to write the next few songs just to like cater to that tour, and I think that like that's something that like also bands kind of need to think of too. Is like when you're on tour with like certain bands, like why not branch out? We have all the fucking creative, like you know.
I'll actually be
freedom
I
stuck
to do that.
doing a lot
well, see,
there.
me personally, I think Manifestation is more on the punkish metal.
No, they are punk.
old school,
That's what I mean, like
hardcore.
original hardcore, because
Yeah.
hardcore did not come from itself; it came from punk.
Yeah.
And that's why I fucking respect punk. I love punk, no matter what. It's like my roots. Like it. That's where hardcore really came from.
Well, see, we have Dutchie,
from
the
the last
DJ.
Thursday
Yeah,
show. From
Dutchie the punk DJ.
He's like, I fucking
this
hate
guy.
hardcore.
This guy is fucking
Yeah.
you fucking wanker.
England,
Fucking wanker. But Dutchie, he knows. I don't think there's anybody that fucking knows more punk than him or
Right.
fucking Ryan Pena from the Black Lung Show. I mean,
Yeah.
these two guys are two peas in a fucking pod. And if it comes to punk, and if you ask them a question, they will know the answer to it.
Right.
But we had Manifestation on the air, and Dutchie loved the shit out of those guys, dude. He was just like, "Oh my
fun.
god, you got to be fucking kidding
They
me."
were so nervous because they never done anything like that. And there was this whole thing where, like, because they're not from the U.S., they flew over and they didn't know about having to pay taxes or pay different things because they're out here playing shows, getting paid and shit like that. So they didn't want to even really promote too much the radio show because they didn't want anyone in the German government, whatever it is, to find out that they're on tour here. That
Yeah.
it's supposed to be just a vacation. That's what they.
You
make-
mean they'd be taxed? Just coming?
I don't know if it's necessarily called tax, but you have to pay and you have to like say you're working here if you're getting paid for stuff. And
They
they
do, yeah.
came to the
tax
tour
your firstborn.
and they got paid. You know, yeah, exactly.
Because German taxes
so-
they're so specific over there.
yeah,
with
so
like,
they didn't want to get in trouble. They just didn't want to get in trouble for touring here without telling them when they're touring here.
they're very lenient
Which is the
on
same thing.
taxes.
Like I
but-
think we've already. Me and Devin. I think you're out. But me and Devin already spilled the beans.
God,
How
I listened
the
to
later of the year we're out. We're in the UK. We have a tour already set up for the UK and Europe.
Right.
And so now we have to tour there. But we're not gonna like. We're not a business entity where we have to report that we're going to be on tour in the UK. Make
Yeah,
money.
you
This
guys
doesn't
are
happen.
making that kind of fucking money. I own a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I own a motorcycle shop, and that's what I do all week long.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so I have to report this. I have my
Right.
docs and blah blah blah, and the CPA and
It's a fucking shit show. I have a
It's-
business,
so, yeah.
and he owns a business too.
As a band, we don't
It's
have
fucking
to. As
crazy.
like a media agency, if I do work while I'm in the UK, I have
Which
to do.
we will.
We will, yeah.
Actually,
I
we
will be
have work
doing
scheduled
media
for that.
work, so I have clients that depend on me while I will be in the UK, even at the end of the year. So those clients I will have to tax differently because I will be in the UK. They will not get taxed differently, my clients,
but
I
yeah,
will
the
be
business
taxed
itself
differently.
will be.
Yeah, my LLC, me as Rosebud Creative, will be getting taxed differently while I'm in the UK. The clients will not get affected, but me as an entity will be.
so yeah, it's I think
It's a shit show, yeah.
I mean, because you know, I mean, fuck bands. It's not like I mean, you know, no disrespect, but you're not
Disrespect
fucking.
taken.
We're not huge. Yeah, like, we're not about that.
I mean, you're not Judas Priest. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
not fucking playing in front of 40,000 fucking people. So why do I need to get taxed?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, we
Can I
kinda,
just
like,
fucking
focus
do
on
my
that.
fucking thing? Drink my pints. Call everybody a fucking wanker.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I did. I was gone for
Just
2
have
months.
chicks showing their titties and you know. call it a fucking day. You know, leave me the
exactly.
fuck alone.
I
That's
mean,
basically
when I
how it
did that,
is.
I was gone for 2 months and I didn't do any of that. I didn't report any of that shit. Whatever money I made off of merch or touring in the other bands.
Yeah, fuck
It doesn't
them,
matter.
man.
Yeah, if it's under a certain threshold, like no government's gonna like come
as
after
far as the
you.
government, I was homeless for 2 months.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Basically,
go.
and like while Danny's in the States, he has to work, and it's great, and
Not
it sucks.
anymore.
Not anymore. But I mean, we've tried to set things up to the point where like my agency pays for a majority of the band's income, so that we do not have to have like standard jobs.
Well, and the reality of the agency is to help other bands.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
we do.
We've already been
want-
doing that.
We want to fucking push other bands.
We do a lot of
and-
work to help other bands with their marketing, their social media, their content that they're putting out to the world is something that says, hey, like this says you are label ready. Like we've worked with bands that want to push for labels, and I've worked for record labels, so it's things that say, hey, like this is what record labels want to see. So we have bands that come to us and say, hey, we don't want to be signed to a record label. We want content that stands on its own. So we make that, and we make things that say, hey, like you want to be on X record label, we're going to make it look like it's from X record label. So if that record label wants to sign that band, they're already ready. Like all of the content they've made ahead of time, that record label can absolve and say, hey, we made this. And those are things that, from me, have working with multiple clients, multiple types of agencies, booking agencies, and record labels says, hey, you want to be signed to X record label? We'll make your shit look like it's ready for that record label. And when the band picks it up, they're ready for us to just hand it over. We sign over our NDA. We sign over everything we did for that band, and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
And it sounds kind of crazy. It's like, hey, like you can hire somebody like me to say, hey, you want me to come out to your live show? You want me to get photos? You want me to make a lyric video? You want me to make a music video? And I will make it ready for whatever record label you want. Each record label has their own aesthetic, their own style for what they put out to the world. It's not hard to emulate what these people are putting out because it's something that is
you can
commercially
see it
ready.
already. You see it already. With what
Yeah,
What
so
we're
it's
putting
just
out,
that there is areas and there's still loopholes because we were talking about earlier that it's hard to make money on your music itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But there's other ways to make money.
Right.
Merch.
And I'm telling you, it's people don't realize, the people that go to the show,
Some more beer?
I
I can get you more beer. More beer?
Wait.
I have
Is this your later
there should be.
It might be.
And this is
Is
your
he not finishing it?
I need another beer too, please.
God damn it, Cody.
Cody, go grab.
Cody, don't be grabbing
No.
fucking beer
Cody
and not
does that
finish.
shit. Oh, even
That's
at
called
home.
alcohol abuse.
No, they're called later drinks.
Later drinks.
He'll open
I won't drink them,
a
though.
little bit, put it away, get another one, and then drink that one later.
This is why I don't live with them.
Back and
I actually
forth.
live my own, so I
You save so much money if you live with us, though. You save
drink my
so
own
much money.
goddamn beer.
I always drink my later drinks. I drink later drinks.
Eventually.
I do.
Eventually.
I do drink them.
But otherwise, it's just sitting there.
Warm beer?
No, in the fridge.
No, it's not
Put it in the
warm.
fridge.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'll
warm.
drink-
Well, once you got a buzz going, it doesn't really matter.
No, listen, Devin fucking pays for the fucking beer for the
Devin's the town
studio.
drunk of the band,
So I'll show up to the studio with fucking like a 12 pack at least.
and it's gone by the end of the night, though.
True.
It is gone.
6 were
At
to
least
me.
by me and Devin.
Well, see, same thing. We practice at my shop. So when you walk in,
Oh,
my
and like
shop,
the
I own a motorcycle shop.
Yeah.
So when you walk in the entryway, there's a seating area, and magazines, blah blah blah. It's like if you're walking into a barbershop,
Right. Yeah.
And then you walk over to then there's a wall, and then if you look to the left, there's all the my drum set and there's
fun.
3 full stacks
That's
and
sick.
and blah blah, and then of course and then there's a door. Then in the back is all the Bay Area, and all you see is motorcycles.
Right.
But I go,
What
holy
did you
shit,
say? The
what
Bear?
a fucking cool place to be right now.
Ours is not that cool. Yeah, ours is just
The
like,
bear?
There's some soundproof.
Wait a minute. We can't get
it.
past that. The
The
bear?
what?
You called it the bear
The bear.
instead of beer? You
What
said
had happened was
What had happened?
Anyways,
I'm with you.
Zigology.
I don't fucking
yeah,
care.
you just
Fuck these haters.
you just gotta fucking follow me.
No,
Yeah,
we don't
I
know
get you.
Zig. Like he comes up with these words that are just like
Not real words.
normal words that are. He has his own pronunciation of them.
Like machismo.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Like machismo.
Machismo? What is
That's a word.
machismo?
That's already a word. That's already a word.
It's
You
you
can't
know,
claim it.
It's
Sorry,
machismo.
buddy.
Machismo.
It's machismo, dude.
It's not machismo.
Just fucking saying.
It's like your fucking inner chi. It's like,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Machismo.
I'll
Cody,
go with that. What?
get us beer.
Get a spare? I'll get some more. Anyway, who needs a beer?
No, he needs to finish his own goddamn.
No, I'm basically finished with mine. Who needs a beer though?
everyone.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Probably
I'm
tequila.
on mine.
Hold on.
Tequila.
But no, I'm good.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Well, he sat here and he fucking brought me like 3 fucking beers. I'm like, look at this fucking guy, man.
I just want to make sure you're fucking slack, bro.
No.
Where's the tequila?
I'm not dishing. I'm saying fucking props to you because the other time I said, hey guys, can since I'm back here, can somebody grab me a fucking beer?
No, man, we make sure you're good to
You
go.
know, I got Cody fucking here. He's like fucking going,
At the studio,
Bam,
like,
bam, bam, there
I'm
you
like,
go.
I'm sitting there working on shit, and Devin just feeds me drinks. Like I'm just like sitting there working on shit, even if it's not for the band, just for other clients. He just feeds me beer.
Like when we're recording or we're doing things in the studio,
It's don't fucking.
There's no
It's
more
just-
Studio B.
let the master
Studio B.
work. Let the master work.
I remember
you.
Studio B's not there anymore.
Studio B is
Studio B is gone, but not really gone
Not really
because
gone.
I have.
Okay, so we made a fucking 2 left turns now.
Let's make it right.
No, we
now.
only make right turns on the show though, right?
No, the right
yeah.
turns are the ones where they get TMI.
Oh, I love TMI questions. Ask
The
me
left
anything you want.
turns, yeah, we did enough to the right turns because that was the shit
Hit me.
stains
Hit me.
and what have you.
Your shit stays.
Right, my shit stains.
Hey, but what's up with that
See,
tequila?
I have no problem. I have no problem fucking. I'm an open goddamn book. You know what I mean? It's one thing that my old lady fucking hates, dude. She's like going, why am I gotta pour it? I'm talking right now.
Well, that's all that's left.
No, there's not. There's more. There's more.
Yeah, I heard we had 4 bottles.
Oh, I'm good.
There's more. See, for JJ, we need the other bottle.
Yeah, what shots?
Where's the other bottle, JJ?
Oh, you don't know how to fucking pour shots, do you, Cody?
There's not that much in here.
There's rationing.
We got more.
If there's
You got more? Bring me more, motherfucker.
If nothing
mix.
else,
We'll
we know
mix.
how to-
We have more.
Zig,
All the
Zig,
tequila in there
Zig,
is
Zig,
ours.
Zig. Let me touch your finger. All right. If nothing else,
me touch your finger.
if nothing else, we know how to ration.
Oh, there you go.
There's 3 of us that live in an apartment, and we ration because we live for the band. So
live
whatever
for the
work
band.
and whatever money we bring in, we take care of whatever the bills we have to do that makes us live. Everything else goes to the band.
It's
so
entirely
we can
true.
be here in California,
Yeah.
not at home in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
working.
all of our money
That's
goes
ours.
to what the band
Everything is for this.
Well, then the
So
one
nothing else-
motherfucker that lives separate, me, who has my own
If
house.
nothing else, we ration.
I
We know how
can't.
to
I
ration.
couldn't do it either. No, I couldn't live with my fucking bandmates. No way.
I will be gone.
100%
No, like
gay guy.
done.
No.
No.
Give me that.
I've been there, done that.
There's
Yeah,
always
I couldn't do it
There's already
again.
some shots, a little bit.
I have a sick ass house, and I love my cat.
Yeah,
I would
we
never put my cat
Yeah,
in
I
that
think we go back. I
situation.
think we go
I
back
love
to
my
Florida.
house.
Listen, Devin.
I love my house. I love living with my girl and my cat. We've got a cat.
Cody's so mad.
And it's like,
you, I'm done.
yeah, I can't go live with some fucking dirty ass son of a bitches.
So much
Fucking
money,
just
fuck
like,
you.
hey, I'm gonna shit on the toilet.
I think I met.
don't need to clean it up.
in July. I think, or September. Wait, what's
No,
that?
it was
July?
like
August.
us.
August.
Wait, what is?
Us.
August.
Us was like May or
Poquito.
June.
Poquito.
Yeah.
No.
Are you mixing tequilas?
No, poquito.
No, fuck yeah, dude. It's all tequila, right? Same plant.
Bust
Same plant.
tequila!
No,
Tequila?
poquito. Very poquito.
The shots are getting like more and more as we go on.
That's your fault, Danny. You're influencing it.
I do drink a lot, but
Don't.
it's fine.
As we all do.
What? We love to.
Me and Danny are the fucking alcoholics of the band. That's pretty much the.
Well, what's
give it
weird
back.
is like with Crowley, there's only me and the singer that drink, and
Right.
the keyboardist every now and then will have a couple beers, but he can't handle his fucking alcohol. So when he
Wait,
gets,
which one?
Julio.
the keyboard player,
Oh, keyboard player. Really?
yeah, no, he
Keyboard player?
well he plays
The pianist? The
the
pianist?
pianist. Yeah, no. So when he gets buzzed, he
Cody
gets
real quick and then
way too
Cody
buzzed,
is back.
and yeah.
I'm taking this one from Cody.
The P. Well, he went to smoke before.
Yeah, I simplified Cody's a little bit.
What's cool, though,
Checked him up a
is
little.
when we get drink tickets, it's just me and the singer. We just split them between the whole band.
Listen, I got drink tickets last night. Shit, that was last night. Fuck.
Oh, you didn't use them?
Oh no,
I
of
did.
course we used them.
Oh, okay.
But
We will always use
apparently, one of the beers that I ordered was $8 and not $6.
Oh yeah, he's crying.
The
'cause we
drink
had to
ticket
pay an
only went to
extra
$6, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, you're really gonna charge me an extra $3
Devin,
because I
that's
got
something
to
like that.
Yeah, they want you to get Coors Light, Bud Light,
Yeah.
that kind of shit. Yeah,
Paps.
Pabst
Yeah,
Blue
that's.
Ribbon.
I mean,
Pabst Blue Ribbon, neighbor.
If I'm screaming before a show, I don't want like shit beer. I want nice beer because
Yeah.
it actually does kind of make a difference. I'm not gonna lie.
well, the thing
What
is,
you do is-
I don't want to drink any beer that I can piss stronger fucking beer. You know what I mean? Don't give me fucking shit beer. Coors Light? Shit.
You drink Bud Light.
That
What are you
is-
talking about?
No, I don't don't drink Bud Light.
I may not be able to.
I drink
fucking-
I drink
Fucking-
Bud Light Platinums.
Same
Dude, how do
difference.
I don't have a double?
No, it's not.
Dude, I can't take this right now.
Go fuck yourself.
Cum, cream, juice, pecker, peckerhead, pecker tracks. Dick, dork, dung, donaker, wang, schlong, schwanz, pork. Crabs, ass, butt, hiney, tuckus, bum, buns, cheek, screw, laid, brow, hump, bang, poke, batter, wham, knock up, bugger, round, jugs, bazooms, knuckles, knobs.
Where did y'all buy that from? I want one of those for my fucking office desk.
I got
Spencer's.
that. No, Spencer's. Yes, I got
Spencer's.
that. Spencer's. Yeah. I walked by that thing, dude. I was in fucking Spencer's, right? And they had it on, so when you walk by, it's motion detected.
Can you recognize your thumbprint?
Expanded.
So I'm walking by, and that fucking thing,
There you
know.
go.
And what was funny because they didn't have it against the wall;
Right.
they had it in the middle thing.
Oh,
you
so
know?
it's like
Where the
right
sun is.
Yeah, so there's people on the other side, right? So I'm walking by and I hear this ass bandit. So I like look over and I'm looking at this fucking guy and the guy is looking at me. I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking, did he just fucking call me an ass bandit?
An ass bandit?
You know, so I'm just like, all right. Then I walk back by and I didn't realize now there's a chick on the other side.
Oh God.
And it said what's something about the cock. Cocksucker.
Yeah.
No. It was a different one.
Respect the cock.
It's all one voice.
Never.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But there was a chick, and it said some, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, that wasn't her, and then here's this thing fucking flipping me off, dude. And I moved, and then it said, fuck. It said something else. You bastard,
Dirty
whatever.
fucking bastard.
Yeah, I'm like,
Wish they had that on camera.
and I'm like going, oh my god, dude, I gotta have this,
Dude, yeah,
And
that's
I'm
amazing.
like, okay, this is sold. This is mine, And then the chick that works at Spencer, she goes, oh well, you can't have that one. I'll grab you. You didn't have the boxes right there. She had to grab it for me. I'm like, oh, but I like this one.
We've bonded already.
So this is actually the display.
Oh, no wonder it's all
That's
fucked
awesome.
Those assholes.
up. I had to rebuild this motherfucker. I had to take the whole thing apart because the gears were all fucked up.
Oh,
So
seriously?
I fixed the gears in it and then rebuild it and put it back
You're
together.
like our Devin. Devin's our builder.
Yeah,
Well,
Devin's
I-
our fixer of things.
Well,
He's a
I-
carpenter. We're like, I need a
closest
vocal
to
booth.
Jesus
We
we
need a
have.
vocal booth.
Well,
I've done carpentry work. I fix shit.
well, I'm a contractor.
He's like Jesus.
I'm a contractor.
Are you a GC?
I am like
Are you a
Jesus.
GC?
He's my biggest inspiration.
I fix
honestly.
appliances. He fixes bikes. I fix
Yeah,
appliances.
dude. Anytime we need something like built in the studio, I'm like, Devin, can you
Yeah.
fucking build me a vocal booth? Can you build me a?
he did.
I built the fucking vocal booth for a
There you go.
record.
He did.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
he did. Like in like 2 days. Less
No,
than 2 days.
it was one.
No, it was one
day. It was one
day.
fucking
It
day.
was fucking 6 hours.
He built 2 walls that we set up, and then we ordered ISO these isolation pads. We ordered 200.
Yeah,
of
when we
them.
were recording a band the next
And-
day, we're like, hey, we should probably have a
Exactly.
vocal booth for this band.
So yeah,
we
so
were.
Devin, build us a
I've been
vocal
in
booth. We have a whole room that we're not using for storage. Hey, make that a vocal booth for us. So,
Yeah.
he wants to work.
So get this. So literally, us three together, you could do the sound studio. You can record.
I can.
And he can put a fucking bathroom in it, so we have somewhere to take
I can wire the fucker.
and also the refrigerator and all that shit, and we can do our laundry, right?
I love to do my laundry. I never have to leave.
And then when we're done recording, I can build this motorcycle so we can fucking head down the fucking highway.
Hey, I'm down.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Afterwards,
I've always, I've always wanted a fucking Harley Davidson Fat Boy, fucking just fat ass
Dude,
tire in the back.
I have a
just want
Harley
that shit.
Glide.
That's the one I want.
remember Brandon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Brandon Lambert. Yeah, well, not Lambert.
No, Brandon Powell.
Powell, yeah.
The tall, skinny one.
Yeah.
They're fucking motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know, still. Brandon,
They both
I
own
think
Harleys.
Brandon told me he's coming back to California.
Is he really?
Shit.
Right, because I know he moved back to Indiana
Right.
because it was child,
Right?
right?
Hmm?
So if he's moving back,
Is there specific alcohol I can't grab in there?
Do not.
I have no idea whose that is, but are these?
Just grab those.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab these. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
But you know what? I tell you what, if we do finish off with these, man, I have no problem fucking grabbing someone else because I don't know how many times they
Right.
grab my shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck you with their shit.
I'll fucking
I'll fuck you with that shit.
Has to fucking get shit. I don't give a fuck.
She's going like, can we leave already?
She's happy.
You guys are so fucked up. Are we done yet?
She's in her head. What are you playing? Are you playing Angry Birds?
Angry Birds.
No, I'm watching, what's Chris D'Elia or something?
Oh, tired of
He has the
dude,
shit. I love him.
he is funny as fuck. I love that guy. He's
This
hilarious.
is the fucking his girl impression of a drunk girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm Rihanna.
I'm so good. Can we go out to the club right now?
You didn't even know.
I'm
You
sorry.
didn't even alligator. Funny. Tired eagle.
Yeah.
He looks like a fucking tired eagle.
Yeah, it's
He's
He's
classic.
great. He's
man.
fucking great. We watched him when you fucking guys were in fucking Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. That was awesome.
Shit.
Fuck, man. I had a. See, there I go again. Wait.
Question? No. Go.
Wham! Right, my god, dude. Right, my
stories?
goddamn fucking face again.
Tour stories.
Tour stories.
No, not really. I mean,
It's okay. So,
Well, the guy in Reno that fucking tried to take.
Okay,
the
hang on a
fucking
second.
hi-hat. Oh yeah.
Are you have an old lady? Oh, you have a girlfriend? Are you married?
I'm single.
Okay, very good.
Single.
Okay,
I'm single. This is
Okay.
me.
He's single right
very
now.
good.
We're seeing hairline.
single, yeah.
Single?
Yeah, everyone. No one's like married or nothing like that.
Okay, very good. So
no
all
one's
right.
married, yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. So I have a story.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So are you guys single? Okay.
I have a story.
I'm sorry. Oh, what are you saying?
No, because he's not. He's well. I mean, we're talking back in the day.
Oh,
What is the code?
So now Gazaris, there was this fucking waitress, man, that just had the hots for me, right? So
Wait,
my
where was
band,
that?
Gazaris, the Gazaris in Hollywood. It's long before you guys. So this chick had the hots for me, and you know, I was fucking walking to the bathroom. And then she's
already
gonna
don't
follow
believe
me
it.
in there, man, and she just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to blow you. You know what I mean? And this is right before I'm gonna go on stage. You know what I mean? So here I am getting a fucking blowjob from the waitress at Kazari's, and then fuck, there we go, boom. Bullshit. You know, I'm fucking walking on the stage, and there we go. So you guys have a story like that? I mean, it's not like Gene Simmons.
Well,
Gene
no,
Simmons
we don't have a
an
story
icon.
like
Not
that,
with
but
this
we
band,
no,
but yeah, yeah.
listen, like we did have one encounter in Tallahassee.
No. She was just like someone who would just.
No,
have sex
she
with
was
her.
like, wait, is she your girlfriend? Talking about our drummer's fucking sister, and I was like,
Oh, hell
no. And she's like, good, and she's like, where's your girlfriend? I
Oh,
said,
crazy bitch.
and I was dating a girl. At the
Oh,
time.
it's a she though.
Yeah, and I was.
It could have been a he. Who knows?
And I was like, yeah, my girlfriend's back in Jacksonville. She's like, good. And I was like, shit. Oh, okay.
She's like,
and
I'm coming to Jacksonville.
but like the fucking like next 45 minutes was like her going to everyone in the band.
Everyone
and
in the bar, not just the
No,
band.
not
the
bar. And being like, I want to suck your dick off your body.
Oh,
if you have a penis,
To every guy in the bar?
yeah, they're like
Seriously.
like,
No, I mean,
Wow.
She went straight to everyone in our band. Like after me, she was like, and
No,
like
she
didn't happen.
She went to me and said, "I will wrap my pussy lips around your dick and make it disappear."
That's what
That's
she said to him.
me.
Yeah.
Well, you
Oh, that old gag.
that old line. It does.
And we're literally like
Probably
trying
the
to.
nickel plate.
It's like I'd be rich by now.
Nickelback.
No,
Yeah, I get a nickel back.
we're trying to leave the venue, and she's like trying to get in our car. We're trying to fucking go
Go
home.
home. Yeah.
Like we're trying
It's
to
just
go
3
home.
hours away.
3 hours away.
I can.
And we
live
get
with
to,
this.
actually, we're gonna play there on Saturday.
So
We do. We do.
No, not that venue. Not that venue.
but
Different.
Welcome
She'll be back.
She'll be there.
She'll be back. She's like, going, okay.
That was
Good times.
shit, but-
okay, was she hot?
One,
The thing that was crazy was her boyfriend showed up fucking like 15 minutes after all this shit.
you in here.
And I'm like, dude, like, I feel bad.
I was like, oh,
Like, I don't know.
Put her in fucking check, cause
Yeah.
going crazy. Yeah.
Like, we literally had to, like, drive away with her trying to get into our car. Like, it was fucking bad. I was like,
I went to
dude,
the bathroom.
that's-
She walked
leave us
into the
alone.
that's
bathroom.
Dallas.
That's Dallas right there. That's Dallas. If you watch The Office, that's Dallas. Yeah, she walked into the bathroom with me and tried to like take off my pants, which is
Oh,
it's really
nice.
difficult. They're
Yeah,
pretty
she's like,
tight.
I
It
want to
could
take
be
off your
difficult.
pants and suck your hair.
Yeah, she was putting all of my hair inside of her at once. It's fine. I have beautiful hair and great cheekbones. It's fine. It's fine with that.
She's out. Does the hair match the drapes?
Oh, baby, we'll match
The
whatever you
carpet
want.
match the drapes?
Yeah.
Of course, that's what she said to redheads, though.
Yeah, the drapes, curtain match the drapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
what it
curtains.
is.
Yeah, I kind of fucked it up.
Yes, you did.
You did a great job.
Yeah, I'm fucking it up.
Yes, you
You did a
did.
great job of fucking
That's
it up.
great. Because that's what I do.
Oh,
Oh, hey, easy killer.
Whoa.
Got him.
Didn't spell it.
yeah. No,
Fuck it.
we have Tallahassee is our last show.
Tallahassee, yeah.
So
We
she
have
might
San
be
Antonio,
there.
San Tallahassee.
Yeah, we have San Antonio. we have
Might
Tallahassee.
will
Sure
be
she might
there.
We'll be there.
She will be there.
What's up, baby? Hope you're there.
She's that troll. Just like wait.
Yeah, there's a few of those. We have a few of those.
She's
Trying to suck the
is it?
life force from all of us fucking upcoming.
They'll be back.
Always come back.
What do the trippers call them? The
Lot lizards.
lot lizards. Yes.
States have a song called Lot Lizards. Check it out. It's so
Universally,
good.
no,
Lot lizard.
Lot lizard.
And then you guys go back. She'll be missing one tooth. It
Yeah.
fucks it all up. Oh no.
Oh God.
We'll be lucky if she has a tooth.
I'm a 14 minimum.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that old club in Ukaipa? That they did tour down.
Oh yeah. Not angels.
Angel. It was not. It was Angels of Ukaipa.
Yes, that's right.
One time I was playing there with. Oh God, who was it? I think it was Days of Change.
Oh shit.
And it was Days of Change and Day Zero. I think I double teamed it that night. And there was some
like that.
old lady
No.
with flat.
Let him drink his own shot.
God damn
He's
it.
trying to pass away his
Bye.
shots. Drink your shot.
Oh God. No, there's some old lady with
I have mine,
like
too.
flapjacks and a black tooth grin. No shitting. A black tooth
He's
fucking
seen
grin.
flapjacks and a blue black tooth ring.
Yes. And she lifted up her shirt to me and my old brother-in-law, which was roadieing for me at the time, and said, "You ever seen titties like this?" And I'm like, "No, thank God."
All right. So I actually just told them this story. I was on tour in Europe, and we were in Barcelona, Spain, and we don't have a show that night. We have a show the next night, but we get there late.
Yeah.
We check into our hotel. Okay, cool. We're gonna go to the clubs, and so I don't know if any of you guys. I mean, you guys toured. You guys are in bands and shit. So I don't know if you've ever been into Europe with that part, but like the hookers in Barcelona, they're all like I don't know, from fucking Barbados or something. And so we're just walking the street on our way to a club, and then the hookers are like, you want to, they just tell you, like, we're just walking, and they come up to you saying, oh, you want to fuck, this and that, and they're like, the one line that I will never forget in my life is like,
Danny.
I will suck your dick from behind.
Danny,
how else do you
where's
think
your
it
shot
sucks?
glass?
I
Shot glass.
finished.
She will put your dick between
Yeah,
her legs,
yeah.
between your legs, and suck it
He's
from
like,
behind.
chicks hookers from Barbados are like, there's a
Barbados.
few of them, And we're a band. There's like 7 of us in a band.
It's like, what good is that going to do?
Like, I will suck your dick from behind.
So it's like, okay.
Like,
so that tells me
it's all right. I'm fine.
It's like, so you can't take it all.
Zig.
I don't know what
That's what that means.
I don't know if you have like a rock hard erection like pushed behind your legs.
That shit hurts.
But you only get half of it. But yeah, it's not comfortable. No.
No, but I think.
But she'll do it.
She'll do it.
In Barcelona, Spain, they'll do it.
So what the fuck?
Wait, whoa.
Hold up a second.
I will suck your dick from behind.
Yeah, it means like your dick
Yeah,
is rock hard, and she will push it.
She'll pull it. No pushing.
Pull
She
it
will pull it from behind.
Almost breaking your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Shit
that's
don't go
like-
that way.
That's the closest to sucking your dick off your body.
Yeah.
Right off.
No thanks. It's like, I'm good.
He's sucking.
No, dude, I'm being.
It's like,
I'm
bitch, have you done this before? No.
Whoa. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Okay, no, but seriously, is it one of those
No,
things
no,
where you
no.
have to go to another country and try out their custom band?
No.
Because we're here.
Yeah, we're here right now.
Hang on. Whoa. Time.
Wait, in
Time out.
Time
What you
the
got?
fuck out. Okay.
Oh, my phone's dying.
Realistically, I can't see sucking my dick from behind.
Well, not with that.
What are you talking about?
Pulling it where? I mean, it's attached to my goddamn. Where are you gonna fucking pull it? I mean, are you gonna stick your tongue on my ass? and it's gonna come out my nutsack or something like that, and then wrap around my fucking head. What? I don't get it. I
She's got to bend over like a pretzel and then do her thing.
I'm not that limber.
Maybe
So
she
if
sucks
you're
your ass
saying
so
like
hard it
this,
comes through the other side.
And your dick comes like.
That was right. That was totally right.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I said maybe she sucks your ass so hard it comes through the other side.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, basically.
She sucks it
Have you ever had your asshole licked?
inward.
No.
No.
Inward.
No.
You're missing out, brother.
Now you clean that up.
Yeah, clean it up.
No, I have not had my asshole licked, dude.
You should have your asshole licked, brother.
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
Suction cup. Tell me, suction cup.
No. See, Cody. No, I don't have
Suction
to.
cup. Take your headphones off.
Oh my god.
He's doing it. He's literally sucking the beer off the wall.
Oh, you fucking guy.
0 paper towels here.
Well, it's fine.
All right, well,
Someone's got to go. Someone's got to go to the restroom.
Bathroom.
And look at this. And now here he goes.
but that wasn't my fault.
That was not my fault either.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man!
I just poured
Hey, so what time is the show?
shot of fucking tequila.
Yeah.
You can't see this though. For the cameras, it's hidden.
She says it's all hidden.
This is all hidden. So you don't see any of this.
On the
I'm just
fucking
drinking my fucking natty
the
lights.
shit here, dude.
Wait, no, you got a shot. We got shots.
All right, you guys have fun.
No. Fuck you, bitch.
Okay.
All right, Zig.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, I'm good. I had to take the one from Cody because I Cody's little tour back.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my tour story from the Barcelona, Spain.
I'm still not really actually.
Can't fathom that.
That's what she said. And we were just like, what the fuck? And then we just went to the club.
She got your attention though, huh?
Yeah, we're like,
Yeah.
like
You see,
that old line.
That word.
I'm going to have to.
Just like Mom
I'm
used to
going to
make.
have to post that on my Facebook page.
hashtag I will suck your
Anybody
dick from behind.
has anybody had their dick sucked
Off their
from
body?
Behind.
No.
From
oh,
behind.
What if you're doing like a
That
toe
could be
touch
real.
and you're
Well, we
all the way
got
down,
a
like,
female.
come out the
Oh,
other
wait,
side.
hold on.
Hang on. We have a female.
Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Okay, we have a female.
Has there been the dick sucked from
in-house.
behind?
So how do you?
Suck the dick from behind.
Well, no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying. Okay.
Is that even possible?
Is it?
Is
I
it
mean,
possible?
I'm just saying.
I mean,
Let me make this more comfortable because sometimes
I don't think that matters.
chicks might go, well, why does it always have to be about sucking dick? I love
Because it's always about sucking.
Okay, well, let me see. It goes both ways.
talking.
Me, I love to eat pussy.
Okay.
Okay? So now, that's going to be comfortable. Now I'm pushing comfortable. So now, as a female, how do you suck dick from behind?
I've never done
See, thank you. Is it fathomable? I don't understand.
I have an idea.
I think that's called broken dick.
I think
The JJ knows.
I think if the guy bends over all the way while standing, touch your toes, then you might be able to pull it behind. I don't know.
I still don't imagine that.
That's a limber fella. I don't even know about touching your toes. Fuck that shit. Wait,
And
what'd you say? That's a limber fella.
That is a guy that fucking really not need.
This is the guy looking
like,
to get
you know.
his, salad tossed, etc., whatever the fuck.
I like my salad being
into.
tossed. That's fine. Yeah.
You do your thing, dude.
Oh, that's right. Now he's back.
I have. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it's possible.
Well, I don't.
It ain't possible for me.
For the weak
Fuck
of
that.
mind. Yeah.
Nah,
It's difficult.
Okay, but okay.
Do you want to break your dick to get sucked?
It doesn't get that.
I just.
and they're only getting half of it. They can't get it if it's going between your legs. You can't get the whole thing.
Right.
So I just want the. I don't want the
Well, I
fucking.
mean, they
I'd rather put
half
it
of it or
into
tip suck. What?
into
Fuck
it.
that. I want the whole. Do the whole thing, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't want. Come on.
No, I'm not going to bend over. You bend over. That's really what it is.
Well, why am I going to go out of my way to get my dick sucked? That's my
Quality.
point.
You've been.
See,
don't
now,
forget there's a hooker. You're paying her to do
I know. I don't do hookers. So
Well, guess what? She's being
want
paid to
fucking
do whatever the fuck I want.
shit, diseases.
No,
and
no,
crap.
not being
Fuck
paid.
that.
If she's gonna bend over, you bend over just as much as she does.
Maybe she
2019.
means she can suck
No,
from like the back of her head.
no. If she's being paid, she will do.
If you're paying for sex,
I
you're
have
fine.
never paid for sex, and I will never have to do it in my
That's what's
life.
up,
Yeah,
brother.
seriously. Same thing.
No.
Fuck yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's
That's too far.
and
No, that is way too
okay.
far.
Well, no, I can take that back. I was married for a
But
while.
my thing is like, in order for someone to
Other than
suck your
that,
dick
yeah.
from behind, you're gonna have to pay them.
Oh shit, we're still on this?
I know.
This was you, dude.
I know, but
I'm trying. I'm
Wait, is anybody talking about this online?
Hold on,
Wait, are you
Has
not on
anybody
that?
else has an asshole licked by a
Well, see,
female?
right now, Dana, I'm saying we
No?
not only do we make a bunch
No?
of rights, we're making U-turns. Okay.
I asked
So
one.
I'm gonna try.
We can stop. We can stop. We can
No, no,
let's just like let's collect this back in.
So
So no one else here has had their asshole licked by a female.
from behind.
No.
At all.
No.
It doesn't fucking.
I don't know if I could kiss you afterward. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god.
I like to make love.
Oh god.
Oh, fuck you, Danny.
All right.
Fuck you, Danny.
We're not gonna do this.
Fucking guy.
It's like I don't
Let's
want
talk about the
someone
heart of
like
gold.
licking my ass. I could have just taken a shit.
What if it's clean? You clean.
Yeah, what if you
I
actually what if
clean
you-
my ass.
Oh, there's still
not that
dingleberries.
bad. It's like that doesn't turn me on. I'm not a fag.
Okay, I tell you what. Hey, let's go
Thank
back
you.
to so
Thank you.
outside of a drummer fucking
Dial it back.
taking a Hershey squirt when he's fucking. So has any of the other guys fucking been on stage, had the Hershey squirts, been like, oh shit?
No,
No, no,
okay,
no.
no, it's
No,
And there it goes.
I actually kind of, sort of, whatever got
I have one
sick
too.
from that same like thing, to where like it was like, oh shit, I got to fart, but like it's not a fart. It's gonna fucking.
Don't
come
trust
out.
it.
You know what?
Yeah,
I tell you what. Okay, go ahead.
No, well, I mean, I didn't do it, but I had to shit in, I want to say it was Seattle. And I didn't go because the fucking, like, when you go to the bathroom, the stalls are like, there's no stalls. You remember?
No,
The stalls are
Boise.
the lowest.
No. Boise was
Seattle
worse.
Seattle.
Boise was worse.
I know, but I'd have to shit there. So I had to shit
Oh, my God.
in Seattle. And when you go into the bathroom, the stalls are like this high. This is where the fucking.
Wait, was that the bathroom? You had to hold
you
the
didn't have
door
locks.
closed. You had to hold the door closed and it didn't lock. You had to hold the door closed.
So I didn't go, and this
That
was
was
right before the
Boise.
show. This was right before we played, so I wasn't able to go because I needed privacy, so I didn't go. So we played the show, and then after the show, it was gone. I didn't have to go anymore, at all. It was just gone. So I can't explain that. It was aliens.
So Boise, Idaho, you could
It's
not
still in there.
do these stalls
Yeah,
they
it's still in there
had.
now. I still have to ship from that.
In Boise, the locks on the men's room stalls do not have locks. So you had to hold them closed. So both me and Devin
No,
had
no.
to dump.
Boise had locks on the door.
No, they didn't.
No. You're thinking about Bremerton. Bremerton. You literally had to take a shit and hold the door.
You did
because the door would lock.
Oh yeah, Boise was fine.
So like you literally had like I said to him, I was like, I had to fucking hold the door, put my thumb up to put the fucking toilet paper on my thumb so I could pull it to fucking hold the door.
You know what? You just put a shirt.
I used a women's restroom as well. Had to do the same thing.
If you put a shirt over the top of the door,
I always use the girls' restroom.
I do that with my sweater sometimes.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm in airports all the time. I fly a lot, and so I'll hang my sweater in the crease of the door. I'll hang the hood there, and the sweater just hangs down the line, and then no one sees me.
I have to accept that.
I'm in airports a lot, and it just fucking sucks, dude.
I have got no problem whatsoever if someone wants to fucking look at me and I'm taking a dump.
I don't care.
I have no fucking problem. The problem I have of shitting in public places is
masturbating.
Well,
definitely.
I'm sorry.
Well, because when you get that toilet paper, it's that fucking one ply bullshit. So here you are, you're trying to pull it out very gently, and it keeps breaking. You're like, God damn it!
You pull, it's like snap.
Oh no, dude!
And when you finally get a nice roll, you wipe your ass, and your fucking fingers slip right through that fucking shit. And you're like, God damn it! And now you're trying to fucking pull shit, and it keeps breaking. Dude, it takes you longer to wipe your ass than it does to take the shit.
Hands down, Iceland is the best place I've ever had to shit.
Double Charmin.
No,
Charmin sauce.
But just the bathroom experience. Like I've walked into the airport in Iceland, watching to take a shit, and the whole thing looks like the Matrix. Like, it's fucking like glass everywhere. Like everyone has their private.
The Oracle has the toilet paper.
You go in, it's like I went into where the stall should be.
What the fuck did I walk into?
I didn't know what to do. There's like white glass along all the walls. It's not like a.
You don't even fucking know, but JJ.
It's not like wood doors. Like every single stall was white glass. You couldn't see through. You go into the fucking stall, you lock it, and it's just like sealed for you. And like no one can see you, no one can hear you.
But you're looking at yourself.
Climate controlled in your own bathroom. Iceland. No, Norway. Sorry, Norway.
Oh, Norway.
Not my business.
It's just glass, not mirrored.
No, it's just glass. It's not mirrored. You can't see yourself. It's just white.
He wants to see himself. That's the thing that's different.
If I could, Danny Attack show every fucking country I've been.
Danny a shit.
If you've ever seen yourself in white frosted glass, you love yourself so much.
I don't ever want to see myself in any other glass.
Sounds like that would be a good opportunity to make a video in that bathroom.
It does.
Dude, I try every time.
He called me up and was like, how far away from you are you?
Can you fly to Norway now?
Right now.
Please.
And I'm like, dude, I can't. I have a client shoot.
Like, well, fuck you then.
I'm taking a shit! I'm taking a shit!
I have a music.
They've only got one ball!
I have a Danny Attack music video we're sitting on.
Oh, we do.
We're waiting because we need to find the perfect girl that we can bury.
Shit.
So no. So we started shooting a Danny music video
before I went to Europe.
Yeah. So we shot it. He left for Europe.
No. Okay, so we're like, it wasn't even on the books for us to do.
It wasn't. It was not on my radar.
We went to Hooters just to go to Hooters. I fucking love Hooters. Not because
I love the wings.
The time I almost swallowed glass.
Okay. As much as people want to say, "Oh, you go to Hooters because of the tits," no, I genuinely love these.
Fucking wings are the shit.
Only these one type of wings that I'll eat every time.
He literally has blind eyes to the tits.
Yeah, I don't care. But tits are tits. You see them one, you see them all. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I'm an adult. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So I go for the food.
87,
yeah, I go for the. I'm 87 years old, so I go for the food. Anyways, we're there. We're just chilling, and then I'm just like, dude, and I leave the next day for Europe, or no, 2 days. I leave the next day. I'm like, dude, I just thought about this. What if I make a music video for one of my songs, which is releasing because I got to go on tour. I'm like, what if I'm like. This one song, that's a slow song, but what if we make it dark because the lyrics are dark? It's about me killing.
He also knows I like dark music videos.
Yeah, and so
he knows I love shooting
in this one song. I'm like, I have 4 different scenarios in this song where I'm killing the girl that I'm in love with in whatever way.
And you know, I love
Hanging
this
them,
shit.
I heard
I'm
4
marrying
different
them,
snares.
I'm stabbing
what I thought I
them.
heard.
Whatever the case is, I'm like, let's do a video.
That sounded like Zig.
I was like,
That's pretty fucking dark.
Zig-
okay, well, look at. I've never been on here on the Zig show with like my Danny Attack stuff. In all my stuff, it's
Follow Danny Attack.
yeah, Danny Attack.
With his snares.
Anyways, so all my lyrics are they're
Stairs
dark,
equal
like,
penises.
in all my Danny Attack stuff, everything's like it's relationship stuff, but it's all ironic and it's all dark. Where it's like
It's very romantic.
either the guy's killing the girl's killing the guy, whatever person. It's all about.
That's so
murder.
romantic.
It's all dark. It's all dark in this stuff.
Kind of Black Widow kind of.
Yeah, in this particular song, it's about the guy going out with all these number of different girls and in different ways that he kills this girl because he can't have her. And so I'm like, dude, let's make it. I know I only have 2 days here. What if we go out tomorrow? Let's find a fucking it's in Florida. I've never been this kind of scenery before because I'm in California. Let's find a piece of woods. Let's go and bury a girl. Let's put it on camera, and let's edit it. Do what you do. I'll be gone. I have no say in it. So let's do the footage that I want to do, and you do your magic. It's, Cody.
Motherfucker left it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
He was gone for 2 months in like Europe.
And so because it's improbable, you couldn't do it. I understood that, but we went out the next day. We went out and we shot the live part of that.
We did. It looked great.
I did.
It genuinely looked great. It looked
but
amazing.
we couldn't get the time that I was gone and the busyness that they had to do with the full band.
With my clients. And
his clients, the full band that we had to do, like we couldn't get the other shots that I wanted with like.
It's coming though. It's coming though, baby.
I wanted Devin to be the male actor in it, so I wanted him to physically dig a hole. I don't want to do it. Fuck that. I'm fat.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do
apparently I have to take a shovel and fucking
He has to do that. And I wanted to
bury this girl.
It just never.
It
got
looks like
done.
a good.
Just because it's like it's fucking.
And we have a girl that is down to just like be buried.
We do.
Basically,
We do.
She's
Buried.
little
That's hot.
skinny white.
And she's amazing.
Last tattoos. It's like fucking bury me. I don't give a shit.
She's so fucking sexy. She was just
she's
fucking
cool.
bury me.
She's cool as fuck.
I don't give a
Bury
fuck.
me.
Bury me.
Yeah,
She's so
me.
sexy.
we just
Do it.
couldn't get the dates down. And so, like, while I'm gone, I'm like, dude, can you do it? Oh, you can't do it yet? All right. Well, fuck, our band shit's going on.
Sounds like a Tinder date.
Can you bury her yet?
It's like Tinder, but we know the person.
So can do it.
I mean, I don't know what trail we were going off on. I don't know why I started talking about this, but, like, Cody does video, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, you just wasted that entire fucking segment. God damn it.
So here's what happened. You guys finished this. The video's not finished yet.
It's not finished. We have the live
So
shot.
now,
For his shit.
Okay, so now they fucking finish it, and then Danny goes on tour, say manifestation or whatever, and then he comes back and
like, oh yeah, that girl we met.
and the feds are like,
More.
yeah, how you doing? Yeah, what can I help you with? Well, this chick actually disappeared. You know what I mean? Like, whoa,
Like moral of the story.
Shayna, we're looking
is
at
that-
you wherever you're at.
Yeah, Shayna,
In Gainesville.
you would have been the model in this video, but the moral of the story was that like Danny wanted me to shoot his music video,
While I was gone.
and while he was gone,
I was like, hey, I want this, do it.
This guy was gone for like fucking 2 months. He
did,
fucking
yeah.
recorded a record and shit.
But no joke, like big honor. Danny wanted me. He talked to his label that he has in Germany and said, "Hey, I have this guy that I really want to shoot his music video," and I felt very honored that it was me because. Like, I've done plenty of music videos. I've done plenty of, like, big cinematography type stuff. And he chose me to do it. And the concept we created was something that wasn't something that could be accomplished in just one day. It was something that would have taken multiple days.
It's not like our
multiple
band.
days to
I thought it
fuck
would
up. Multiple days
wanted
of
to.
planning. And, like, we wouldn't even have Devin. We wouldn't even have Shayna. Shayna did the artwork and art video as
She's
well.
the girl.
Shannon's actually the girl in Bloom.
Shayna Haley.
okay, the one walking through the field.
Yeah, she was also one
she's the
holding
girl.
holding the roses.
fucking kicks ass. She's
She
a cool
everything.
ass fucking
She is actually working towards doing like digital marketing and stuff like that. She's going to school for that right now. So
Cool
she's
stuff.
like, yeah, she's really crushing it in the form
Yeah,
of like digital
she
marketing.
rules.
She's worked in the form of like in modeling, who has like a very bad name as far as like 2018 goes. Like modeling's like very sketchy right now, but she did it in a very good way. But
Well, because
I
you got to be
think-
fucking anorexic and all that
yeah.
bullshit.
I think she did it in a very good way, but I think with like what Danny was doing, I think we had a very good idea, and with the timing of his record release versus our record release, like my priority is going to go to the band of INDIVISION, and that's something against like Danny and Tech what he's doing. So he knows like I tried to mix his record and it didn't work
so
out.
I mean, it was a big thing. Like I was like I didn't want to. The last album I did myself for Danny Attack, not any music like rock shit. I
And
did.
you didn't include the fucking song that me and him did.
Hold on. With your ego.
So-
Hold on with your ego.
He hates me because I can sing. He hates me because I can sing.
No, he can't sing. My first record under Whispers in Reverse, I was in California, so I didn't know these guys. Anyways, that record took me a year to do, like, because I did it myself, not because it took me a year to do, because like it was like.
It was in the waiting. It was in the waiting.
No.
It was there.
I was like, let me do it again because maybe I could have did it better. And not like, oh, let me do that song better. I'm going to do the whole album again. So I kept doing it. It took me a year to release. I released it. And this time around, I had Cody. And I was like, oh, shit, well, now I don't have to record it. I'll sweet talk. I'll suck his dick from behind. And if I promise to suck his dick from behind me, he'll record it for me. And I don't have to do it myself.
I want to see that or think about it.
So for me, I'm like, okay, I'll write my music. I'll have it out. This is what I want to do. I was gonna do it on my own myself. I took too long to do it. I didn't do it when I should have. I took advantage of the time that I had. I could have done it by myself. I just didn't.
I wouldn't say that you didn't do it at the time
No,
you
didn't
do it because you did do it at the time.
No, I did it when I had to do it.
Well,
I had a half a year to do it before in my house, in my studio. I just didn't do it because I was like, oh, well, I can do it whenever my studio's there.
And the timing when it involved me was different. Yeah.
Now because whatever happened, I was now with Cody in our studio, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to Europe, and I have to have a release. Shit, I need to do it. Okay, Cody, record my album. I'll just play, and you just record it and do what you got to do. And he did it. We had quote unquote difference of opinions on one thing, what could happen, when, and where. And I was like, cool, send me your files, and I'll just tweak it and put it how I want certain things. And then at that point, like, I don't have the same plugins that he had, and he wasn't awake that night. It was one of the nights that he was able to sleep.
Yeah,
and I wasn't.
One of the very few nights.
Yeah.
I work a very like strict schedule to where
and so
I
like,
do work 40 hours a week, but not against his schedule.
And if you got anything from this radio show, is that we do everything last minute.
Yeah.
And so
fucking everything.
Even our records,
we're like, hey, we're gonna do it all ourselves, and we're gonna fucking do it the best we can. And the best we can is last minute.
I even told Devin, I was like, hey Devin, I have this song. I want you to sing on it. Here's the stuff. Learn it real quick. Send it back to me.
Well, me and him have performed live together too.
Yeah,
so it's like,
shows.
you know,
right?
Okay, so back to the recording though. I was like, here, record it, and I had some issues with it, but he was asleep. I was okay. Well, I don't have the time to wake him up. Like, I'm at the studio, he's home asleep. I'm like, all right, well, I just gotta do what I gotta do. I have to put it out the next day for the tour.
Right. Yeah.
And so I scrapped everything he worked so fucking hard to do, which I feel so bad because I didn't use anything he did. Like he worked hard on that album the best he could with all the other band shit we had going on and his other clients and stuff. And so I just scrapped everything because I don't have his plugins. Did the record myself, mixed it, and then just put it out
to the world.
And that's what it was. And that's what's out now. That's what's out in Europe, and that's what I toured on. And that's just it. But now, like, when we do our stuff, because we're gonna
be
do an
doing
album,
full scratch.
we're gonna have more time, and he's gonna be the one doing it.
Yeah, and this wasn't something that was like we did fully from scratch. It was something that was like he already had written and recorded, and he sent to me, and it was literally like 3 days of like, hey, I'm here for 3 days. Let's mix and master it. It wasn't like I had time to listen to the music. So when we do with the next record, I will have time to come up with symphonies and drum parts. I will be able to write and mix and master.
Yeah, we're gonna have him produce.
Yeah,
myself.
Yeah,
and Devin, and he'll be the one that
because they know I can write these parts.
Well, the thing for us is like we're not just like fully just like a fucking metal band. Like we want to express ourselves in different ways, and like in a way that's different than like. I mean, for us to like be able to master something other than metal and do just folk music, like is a fucking huge deal.
You can't just say okay.
It's a huge deal.
It's a big diversity. And I also want to give a shout out to AJ Rage, which is from Reclaiming Sky.
Yeah.
He said what's up. So
What's up,
I
dude?
just want to make sure that
How you doing, bro?
we give him a shout out. Great band. I know their new album is getting ready to break.
Yeah.
Not here shortly.
I mean, like our thing, like is like to not like just stick in a certain realm, but to like follow the ways that we've like been brought up.
Well, you
know,
always
like,
have
that's
to.
really what happened.
Well, there's. You have since you're here on that note, it's like ACDC. It's ACDC is ACDC.
I could never. I could never do that shit.
What I'm saying is like that is that is they've maintained that
right.
It's ACDC.
Right.
It ain't venturing off anywhere else.
Yeah.
You had Pantera, which was basically
Pantera. Wait, what was that?
And they stayed.
That's Ziglish.
They stayed with what worked for them. But you have to like. Let's take in this moment.
It works for me.
Okay. Now, no. I'm good. Now, in this moment is.
They're badass.
They are because we've seen them
They're fucking
live.
sick.
We see them like, oh man, great band.
Amazing.
Me and my girl love In This Moment.
Right.
But they weren't like, see, people that are, it's funny because people that are in, like In This Moment now, oh, right now, no, hang on a second.
Right.
They were like, it was a totally different, band prior. And if you were to show them, like, oh, what the hell? It was a metamorphosis.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out what works, what sells.
Well, I think that.
And if the entire band feels comfortable, you know what I mean?
Well, my thing is like
every band has to go.
Right.
You have to go from a caterpillar.
Yeah.
Got to go cocoon. And you have to go to the butterfly, moth, whatever it is.
Right. To that
agree.
stage, yeah.
Yeah.
I think every band has to go through that moment. There's a moment in every band where you decide to say, hey, we are going to take the next step. We are going to take the next moment where we are going to sacrifice our lives, our money, our credit score, our energy into what we are doing. And that is something that's very difficult to do. And it's a make or break for a lot of bands where you say, hey, we are going to sacrifice everything and commit to what we're doing. And that's a moment where a lot of bands as family become that family.
Yeah.
Where you say, hey, like me, Devin, Adam, and Danny are going to say, hey, fuck the world. What we are doing is what we believe in. And a lot of bands won't commit to that because, you're all committing to a credit score. You're all committing to a bank account. But at the end of the line, there is one person who's committing that ideal goal.
Well,
we have a rep.
I mean,
we have a goal. We have a rep with Z Sounds. We have a rep with AMS. We have a rep with like American Music Supply that says, "Hey, we are committing to you guys, and we all put in X amount of dollars a month." But it says, "Hey, we trust you."
Well, it could also stab you in the back at the same time. It could also kill you because
your phone calls.
Well, once you find I think Guns N' Roses, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
They fucked up. They had a great niche. And instead of staying with that niche, they decided to like venture off. Metallica is a fucking another one. It was just after Black. Slow down, Turbo.
One second.
Fuck you, Danny.
1 second.
After the
I don't really
last
like Metallica.
after the Black
Okay,
album.
that's fine.
After the Black album.
I
know.
See,
After the Black album.
I agree. See, I thought Black was actually pretty weak in itself, and that was the last.
Black Album.
I do have it. I own it, and I do play it. But I thought that was. I knew when that album came out that was the weakest moment, or I should say it was
the precipice for them.
Yes,
period.
precipice
Yeah.
for the fall down.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But think about it. When and they've had several albums after that. But the problem is that when you go to a Metallica concert,
right?
I only been to
hear
one
that
after
singing.
the black. They're not playing their shit. They're playing
the earlier,
old school shit.
Exactly.
No, the thing with like, so we look at Metallica, right? Like, look at that.
Wait,
like stop. hold on. Stop for a second. You look at what made them
really
incredibly
Metallica.
famous. Like, you look at Ride the Lightning, you look at Master of Puppets, but
great albums.
Yeah. But
fucking
what
amazing.
what made
Groundbreaking.
Metallica on the map? What made Metallica on the radio was their self-titled Black Album. It was Wherever I May Roam.
What?
It was Enter Sandman. No. Stop for a second. So, for a moment, there was a moment in the early 90s, late 80s, where Metallica was dropping off the map, where other bands were starting to skyrocket. And you had records, you had songs like Shut the Fuck Up, Wherever I May Roam, and Enter Sandman, who were taking over the charts. So Metallica actually lost a place in music for a set of time. And I know the statistics, and he knows this shit. He knows this. Where Metallica was losing traction, and Enter Sandman and Wherever I May Roam took over the charts, and it was the only thing.
Well, that was their first poppy hit.
Yeah, no, but Wherever I May Roam,
They
it had
did that for a reason.
No, Wherever I May
No,
Roam
they
was
did.
still super heavy. It had a bass break string. It had the heaviest 808 aside from the hip hop records. It had the heaviest China
I can
and
agree
any
with
time
that.
of metal music. So they had things that Rick Rubin were putting into their music that no one else was doing. Right? So in the late 90s or late 80s,
I
early
thought that was
90s,
produced by Bob Rock.
But also,
but Rick Rubin took it and ended up making all those hip hop records out of Wherever I May Roam.
But like built to self-destruct.
Okay, now
I'm just saying, like-
And
okay,
he
so
made them on the map, which
I mean, like
Metallica would not have been on the map.
I will
if
never.
Not for them.
I will never down the. I will
Yeah.
never down Metallica.
I love
Period.
Metallica.
Because they're
I
fucking
genuinely
shit.
do.
I will just say though, like, this is the thing. It's like it's with every band. Like when you're going through like these different changes, like I could never imagine being a band. I mean, we were hanging out with fucking Kerry King was at our show last night.
You weren't there when Kerry King was there.
Kerry King was
Kerry
fucking.
King was there.
Kerry King was playing
last
fucking
night.
darts, fucking at the fucking venue we were at before. And I'm like,
MTL last night, huh?
yeah. And I'm
Kerry
like,
King and Adam from
yeah,
Cold Cock.
and I was like, dude,
Adam.
fucking Kerry King, fucking from Slayer, like the fucking shit, dude. He's a fucking legend, dude. Like that dude, mad fucking respect. Dude.
Well,
Mad fucking respect.
In the end, though.
But this is the thing, is like it's hard because it's like, well, we're transitioning into this new kind of age of metal to a certain degree. Like we are. It's happening. Same thing with punk. Like punk, like it didn't die. Punk will never die. And same thing with metal. And like, but like metalcore has kind of like moved in this like kind of weird place where it's like in between, like, you know, the old pop punk bands and also like the straight up fucking heavy metal bands. But like for me, it's like, you know, like as an artist, like I never want to like try to like one up those people because they're fucking influences. Like I love Slayer, I love fucking Metallica. Like, yeah, Set to Self-Destruct might have been like a different kind of album for many people. But the thing is, for me, is like my main influence as an artist in general has been Thrice, and Dustin Kensrue from Thrice has changed his like, you know, genre as far as like the way that their music is gone.
Okay, so I get all that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going back to the fucking Metallica thing. See, now you mentioned Slayer. Slayer stuck with what? Slayer. Okay,
Slayer stuck with Slayer because Slayer is fucking sick.
But see, the thing is that Metallica fucking they tried to go this metamorphosis stage, and
Metallica moved differently than Slayer did. Yeah,
it got worse as it went, and I don't give a fuck what anybody fucking says.
I agree.
Because it got worse.
I agree.
As it went.
Hold on, Death by Medic is actually really bad.
Slow down, Turbo. Slow down, Turbo. Okay. All right.
They got good again.
No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't.
Shut the fuck up, JJ.
Metallica Metallica got worse, and I mean, the thing is that if you are on top, you know what works for you, and when it comes time to call it quits,
right?
You're here.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't start doing this and experiment and just going down, 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 down. Because if you could play fucking live and then you're going to play all your old shit and you mix in your new shit, because here's the thing. Go on any goddamn... And I love Metallica, okay? Because I was following Metallica when Dave Mustaine was this fucking singer.
For Megadeth.
Okay?
Yeah, of course.
So, it kills me to know that... Did you hear me wheeze?
I hear that? No, motherfucker.
I don't know where that came from.
That's a Zigology.
I thought that was from JJ. I was like, what the fuck was that?
I surprised that. He goes, but it kills me to see a band do try and experiment
They're still
and go
doing something. They're still doing, even if it sucks, they're still changing their shit.
No.
I'm with Zig.
That is my.
I totally fucking understand what Zig is talking about.
Okay,
yes.
hang on, guys.
You guys are on a good one.
Shut the fuck up and let Zig talk.
Hang on.
Let Zig talk. Let Zig talk.
So you try something and it sucks. And you go to something else, and it sucks even fucking worse. And if you're going down the goddamn rabbit hole, you at some point you need this fucking stop. And then they try to revive themselves, and then the last album they're like, "Oh, we're going back to our roots." No, you didn't. It sucked even worse. A perfect example is that Scott plays for fucking one of the most awesome fucking tribute bands of all time. Yeah. That Ozzy stuck to what? Exactly what Ozzy was meant to be.
Exactly.
He didn't change shit. Okay? His image changed, but the music did not change. It drives me fucking nuts. I don't give a fuck if you went on the fucking stage. If at the first album you wore a dress, like Motley Crue for fucking instance.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They were like all leather and shit like that. Then they went into what was that album, and they were all fucking like glammed out. But the music was still Motley Crue.
Right. My thing is though, if we take a step back and we look at what Metallica did, and Metallica reached this era where people weren't for 4 records releasing the same thing over and over again. Like if you are Leonardo da Vinci releasing the Mona Lisa for 4 years in a row, you wouldn't want to do that. And granted, Metallica released the Saint Anger, which is fucking awful. They released a Death Magnetic, which was fucking awful. Hold on.
Sorry.
But they still release records year after year that still hit the top of the charts, right? And they still hold on.
No, they didn't.
Hold on.
The new one was pretty good. I'll give them that.
No, they still release things that undefined by your definition of music, still release things that were above the other music that were being put out.
They're still in the fucking Grammys. They're still fucking there.
My thing is it's not just his
Because the name
It's not just his perspective.
If you set a standard,
not because
it doesn't really matter. Just like Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses sucked after the first album.
Yeah.
All right, y'all shut the fuck up, because not everything Megadeth.
Where did Rat go? Hey, where did Rat go? Where did Rat go? You guys understand? Where did Rat go?
Well, that's
what I'm talking about. And that's what Zig understands. Where did Rat go? Hang on. Where did Rat go?
One of my friends lives in La Puente, California, who wrote the original drummer for Rat.
But where did they go?
Bobby
La
Blotzer?
Puente, California.
No, I know Bobby.
SGV.
I'm just trying to find.
One of the original guys. Those guys can't get along.
I just want to know
what happens.
Why did Rat not go farther than they did? And that's the reason. Like the same exact
because
reason
Rat sucks.
They tried to stop
Rat was the shit. Rat was
no, they weren't. Yeah, they were shit.
I'm not saying to me. I'm not saying to me.
Round and round.
I'm saying like in the sense of
I've done
the
shows with them.
Where did the Rat go? Because Rat should have fucking been where fucking like anybody else was in that certain fucking.
Yeah,
genre.
but glam rock was a totally different genre and a totally different animal.
Well,
right?
the thing was Nirvana fucking killed that.
Well,
whole,
but
like,
see, that was a whole new. That was a whole. Hang on a second.
All right.
That was a whole. That was a whole new genre that came.
Henry, there you go.
That's right. Fucking ain't right.
What did you call it?
Genre. And so, what you had there was all something new, just like the
That's
metal.
the reason I'm here in metal, or even rock music, because of Nirvana. Like, I grew up in Compton, lived in Southgate. It's all rap, hip hop, gangs, and then in 5th grade or 6th grade, one of those fucking years, whenever Nirvana came out with "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on the radio, I was at one of my friend's house. We're fucking like just hanging out, and he's like switching shit on the radio, and Nirvana comes on. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? And he's like, what is that?
Like original grunge was
but stupid.
But think about
that's how I got
this.
into
So
it.
now, in the '80s, now '80s was a great era
was
for metal.
amazing.
But
Amazing.
what happened is that there were so many bands.
Right.
There was
Too many.
exactly.
Right.
So what happened is, I mean, you only a few could survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have, if you got a whole fucking horde of wolves that are starving, and there's only one sheep to feed off of,
fucking eat
there's
it.
only going to few that are going to survive. Not everyone's going to be able to eat off that sheep.
No, the fucking problem, though.
So what happened is that it got saturated.
No.
And yes, it did.
No.
Same
Yes,
thing with
it
metal.
did. It got saturated.
saturated.
But
Yeah.
now here's right. God damn it. Now what happened is that people they needed something new because you had something that was going on for a decade, and say, okay, we need. That's just human nature. We strive for something new. We strive to better ourselves as individuals.
I always follow the new
So
music.
music does the same fucking thing. So here's this new thing, and now Nirvana. English.
I fucking love Nirvana.
So you have Nirvana.
I love you, Kurt.
You had
Nirvana with 2019.
give me. No, I'm gonna talk to Danny because he's in the right mind. So
Danny's old enough to be my dad.
Nirvana. What was the other? Huh?
What?
Another band, Soundgarden. There you go. Thank you for JJ.
Soundgarden.
So Soundgarden.
Pearl's really big.
Pearl Jam is so you have those
also killed
that kind of
Yeah.
and then you had
Fucking Smashing Pumpkins, man.
now what happened?
Smiling politely.
Yeah.
Well, see, now what happened is music.
Come on.
Shitting politely.
Music went into this area where it was like a disturbance, and then, okay,
Right.
do we need rock? Do we need this grunge
It's
thing?
not like between, like,
What did we
Soundgarden
do?
and,
Yeah.
like,
And then all of a sudden, now you had Rage Against the Machine comes out, and then and the bands like that.
There's this.
And then
Rage was so different than Soundgarden.
No.
You're like
Well,
right
then-
on top
well,
of this,
and-
but you're missing something important.
But then you had Tool. Well, see now.
Yeah, Jim Blossoms.
So now you had the music was not sure if it wanted to be heavy or if it wanted because see Slayer was still around.
Slayer
There was
was
like
around
going,
yesterday.
Around for a
fuck
long
you,
time.
and so was Lemmy. He was, I'm still
Right.
gonna fucking make this shit.
Yeah, fuck
So
that
now you have this battle between the grunge, bullshit, the
Right.
depression shit, and you had the people that were like, let me kick you in the fuck not once, but
Twice.
Okay, so then you had the progression. It was like going, hey, guess what? We're still here, sit in the background, and then here comes Tool.
Metric?
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I respect Maynard actually probably the most. He's probably one of my biggest influences as far as like music goes.
Well, the only thing I could ever like, the only thing I will ever like name drop from people that I know is Maynard. I used to work for Michael Patterson, who's a producer, Nine Inch Nails, Tools, Korn, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyways, so I got to cut Maynard's vocals for Pussifer.
Nice.
I don't know what I don't remember.
audio takes
I don't
a while,
remember
like,
what
the
album it
breaths,
is,
right?
But it's the album with Mila Jovovich, which is the chick from Resident Evil.
Jovovich.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
So she's the girl singer in that Pussifer album, which is Tool, Perfect Circle, whatever Maynard did, I got to cut his vocals, edit his vocals for that album.
So
Nice.
and again, my thing with
No credit.
with
Because I
modern
was
music
intern.
is that you have people like Maynard, you have people like Mia
With his wine.
like Mia Jovovich, who sound just like him, who put out covers just like him, who sound arguably better on a track than he does. So my thing is, why idolize people who, yes, they originally created these tracks. They originally put out the music that set them in stone for the people who had these moments, these arguable moments in life, or changed them as people who had that moment where they met their best friend, they met their wife, whoever it was. I don't give a fuck. Because to me,
Hey, you could have been born by that.
yeah. No, and you could have been. And for you, that is the most romantic moment of your life. But people now, people now, they romanticize music to a point where it's something so far beyond the music that says, hey, Maynard put out this track and it sounds amazing. And yes, someone can sing it per key better than he does. Maybe it's not his song. Maybe it's something that sounds better than he does. It's still like an artist, better than he does, and it's better. I will like that song better than when he put out.
Well, I mean, my thing is
Arguably
like,
every
Mila
time.
Jovovich is
I don't
a
know,
singer?
like,
No, I just said nothing about Mila Jovovich.
my fucking thing is fucking Maynard, he is an
Maynard's
idol.
great.
He's
Maynard's
an idol
great.
to me. I love him, not just because of his vocal, ability,
He writes very well.
but just
He does
because
write
of
very
his
well.
writing. For me, I didn't learn until I was with this band in Division. I didn't learn that your influences actually affect what you're saying. And I actually had this moment where there's one of our songs where I say back and forth, here we go again. And what was it, Dreams? And I'm like,
I don't know the name of the song.
and I'm like, dude, that vocal line for me was something to oh, cool, I can bring that into our music. And that's something that Matty Mullins said, and I just think those artists, it's very, I don't know how intentional they were with writing those vocals, but at the same time, it's very influential in the sense of
One of the hard things for me is
Yeah.
with him doing vocals and his vocals meaning so much is that during the next either EP and or album is that he wants me to also write vocals as well.
Support that.
Yeah, he wants me to
no, because I know that Danny is a great fucking lyricist. Period.
But but when I write stuff for Danny Attack, it doesn't mean too much to me. When Devin writes, it's it's from the heart. It's from what he wants to say. And for me, it's I make up stories from maybe their life experiences, but I embellish on those to make them dark. I write a whole dark thing, and I maybe I'm a lyricist, but I know words. I can transfer words emotion to words, and that what the listener might feel. And so I'm gonna bring that to our next either EP or album.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna start working that until we get back home.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, because you know what? When you guys do come up with the next album, guess where you guys are going to be?
Right here.
Here.
Right here. So, you know what, guys? Thanks for coming in. I really...
May 6th we'll be here.
I really appreciate everybody, tuning in tonight. We also had, a lot of fucking people hitting in.
Fuck yeah.
So you guys now, if there's anybody hitting Midwest to the East Coast, you guys will be playing it where?
Texas, San Antonio. I don't know where.
San Antonio at
Warrior of the River in Tallahassee.
okay, and then
Warrior on the River in Tallahassee on the 26th.
okay, very good. And then guys work on the next album. It'll be great. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna be kicking this one in my fucking truck, dude. Because I'm telling you, I spent good money on my stereo system, in my truck,
As
dude.
heavy
And
as it is, it's beautiful.
Well,
I've
the thing
tried to
is,
make it punch
I can't
something
wait to
else. Yeah,
fucking pull. When that motherfucker pulls up next to me, he's like,
No.
I'm like,
okay.
oh yeah, okay. So, anyways, guys,
heavy.
Yeah,
but it's beautiful. At the same time.
It is. It's awesome. It tells a story. But thanks for coming, guys. You guys kicked ass fucking last night, dude.
you.
I'm telling you. Let me tell you. Last night, dude, was a really good fitting to a very fucked up New Year's for me, dude.
Yeah.
And you guys actually put me back up where I need to be for the new year.
I hope so.
Because I was in a fucking funk until Saturday night, dude. Last night, and I'm telling you, I'm back to where I need to be. And it was great having you guys in the fucking studio tonight because I'm telling you, I'm really fucking fired up, and I'm really take this fucking new year and kick it in the balls not once but
Twice, bitches.
2 times.
I can tell you, Jake, we definitely all have. There's always shit that just comes up to you and bends you over and fucks you in the ass dry. And you know when we say that, we look at those things. We're like, you know what? You got a rock hard dick. You're not gonna fuck us in the ass hard. We say,
you want it,
let's lube you up.
Listen,
Let's take it nice and
I lost
every
my
fucking
roommate
day.
in college. He
Yeah.
died. My
on
fucking
this-
roommate in college died like in the last two months.
Yeah.
And I had to deal with that shit and go to the fucking funeral.
Yeah.
And
While
for me,
tracking.
like everything that was going on during that time period, it just made sense to me to like know that like this is what I'm doing for my friend.
Well, people come up to us and they're like, "Well, you guys have only been in for 6 months. How are you doing it?" It's like, if you want to do it, you'll do it.
You fucking do it.
Don't make excuses. If you want, that's the
fucking
only
be a
advice we
pussy.
have. If
Right.
you
Don't
want
be
to
a
do
pussy,
it,
fucking
you will
grow
figure
up.
it out a way to do it. If you have excuses and you don't want to do it,
and
that's
be a band from fucking Florida.
well, that might not be
Go
it.
to California. Don't fucking go to California if you ain't fucking ready.
And come to California and play the MTL and fucking rock the fuck
Literally,
out of us.
California will eat you fucking alive. If you're not ready, it will spit you out and you will go home.
All right. Well, you know what, guys? Thanks for coming on the air. It was awesome having you guys in the air,
you.
dude. I love. We killed fucking.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, no,
What is this? Do this?
There's a heart.
I have no
Do this.
fucking.
I
I do this,
Do
dude.
this. The
He
heart.
signed, and
Thank
then
you.
Ben. Oh, there you go.
There's the heart.
That's it.
Oh, okay, there you go.
That's just.
But you know what?
Party.
Kaotic Radio always has a home for you guys.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Okay,
Love you guys.
that's
you
what
so
it's all
much for
about.
your support.
Thanks for tuning in. We love all the listeners. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
Fuck yeah.
And don't forget to get your INDIVISION CD, and they can
on
get that music
on
from.
Apple Music.
Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Target.
Go check out Instagram at INDIVISION FL, Facebook INDIVISION FL.
Everything just INDIVISION FL on everything.
Just
And
go
make
follow
sure
it.
you make sure you crank that shit up when you get next to the fucking guy that has the fucking
Next to the beaners and next to the man.
crank this shit fucking up with Adam beating up those fucking double bass drums, dude. All right, kaoticradio.com. We're fucking out of here. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Peace.
West Coast is the most.
Let's get it.
God damn it.
Well, I'm coming to life.